Okay, there we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome back again to Tuesday Night Warda. We are here in the Pocket Dimension with our fabulous guests and our fabulous players tonight to bring you all the wonderful world of Warda. Thank you so much for coming back to us and being a part of this brand new arc. So last week we finished up the Yashara Whis arc. We discovered who killed her and possibly why. And now we're moving forward. And so we thank all of you guys for jumping in and being with us this week and for being with us every week and hopefully with us further out. Like and share, tell your friends. And so let's get the business out of the way first, all right? Let's go with welcomed everybody, didn't I? I'm a little flustered. It's been a little while since I've done this.
Yeah, now you're back on the other side of the
I'm
table.
back on the other side of the table now. Now Allie's on the ones and twos tonight, everybody.
Hey guys.
I
learned how to stream.
Learn how to stream this
To
thing.
stream the thing.
Yeah. So if you are new to the chat, we thank you for coming out. If you want to learn anything about Warda, be sure to go to welcometowarda.com where we have all the information. And we love to answer your questions and figure out stuff.
We have our deputy in the chat, Jordan, who will
thank
be
you.
shooting out those links to welcometowarda.com, to our Twitter, presumably to the Dungeon Dome Kickstarter for One Shot RPG, which is our parent umbrella company.
A lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So check out those links as Jordan shoots them out into the chat throughout the game.
Thank you,
So
Jordan.
let's actually start with a recap of what's been going on.
What have you done?
So it fell off.
Okay.
It happens.
It does.
Happens to a lot of people, okay? So last time, we have finished up the arc where basically Yashara Whis was a diva opera singer in the city, and she was turned to stone for nefarious reasons, and people tried to figure out why. And our good friend Embrilar and Tippin and Owin went out and tried very hard to figure out what was going on, and the more they got into it, the deeper and deeper it became, and bigger, until it became way above their pay grade. And they eventually figured out that it was a Ifriti, but who they call Scarthroat, was killing off Yashara for a particular reason that eventually they couldn't figure out, but they surmised why. And so there was a lot of speculation going on. But that arc ended with everything being okay, roughly. There were like 5 people dead.
Roughly.
By the end of it. And everyone got time off. They got paid time off. And so that's where we are at this point. We're going to actually jump one span, so 111 day after the end of that last game. And that's where we are now. But before we begin that, let's jump with our players. Tell us who you really are. Give us your real name, and then tell us who you're playing. And yeah, we'll go from there.
My name is Justin. I am playing Embrilar Ardeo, the Warden Ardeo. I haven't gotten a promotion yet, which I think is absolute smish, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I am a Warden of the Hand and Eye, so Magic Cop. Magic Cop. It's gonna happen. TV show. Magic Cop. And what was the other question you want?
What race are you? What race are you?
Oh, I am a half Gene Ifriti. That is a very good point. I am a half Gene Ifriti, not a full Ifriti. They are the fire elemental fae. And House Ardeo is one of the high house of the Ifriti race.
They're like the Lannisters.
Pretty much.
More like the hot house, am I right?
Yeah.
Can you go back to the ones and twos? Sorry. Who's next? That's not.
Someone's sleeping on the couch.
I know.
I'm staying over. I need that couch. Frank.
Sorry about that.
Frank, do your thing.
Frank, do your thing.
Hi,
Do your thing.
I am Frank Gasparo. I am playing Tippin, just Tippin. He is a pixie who has also not been promoted yet.
I'm sorry, I just have this vision of Tippin being like, well, I would like a promotion.
I would like a promotion, yes.
And they're like, to what?
I've done a lot for you guys. Thank you very much.
The promotion is all of the other wards now call you by your name.
I just say you deputize the pixie because he could do a lot for
That's never gonna happen. Anyway, continue.
Let him dream. He is he is an unaffiliated pixie. He does not work for the union. Tippin likes to go by Rogue Pixie because it sounds cool.
I like Rogue Pixie.
Rogue Pixie.
Rogue Pixie.
I was just calling him free range at this point, but I like Rogue Pixie.
I like Rogue because a lot of pixies don't.
I
agree
prefer
with
my
him.
pixies free range.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah.
That sounds like you eat them. Pixie lives and names and everything about pixies matter. Make that whole thing into a hashtag. Go,
Pixies
Chad.
matter.
And that's Tippin. That's Tippin. He's a pixie.
Cool. And today we have 2 new guests with us. Please let us know who you are and tell us who you're playing.
Hi there. My name is Alexis Cohen-Penna, and I will be playing Alva Goldfinch. Alva, I should say it properly. Alva Goldfinch. She is a fairy hat maker and sort of a hub for secrets and gossip.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. I dig it.
My name is Nathan Thompson, and I will be playing Iggly Twitchwiggler III. He is a shrewd, gentle goblin merchant banker from Amminheim.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, Iggly Twitchwiggler was part of the original Warda game that we played. We played like a whole year worth of Winds of Change.
Yep.
And just so you guys know, if we get our Patreon up to $300 a month, we'll be able to start releasing all of Winds of Change as podcasts as well. So if you guys want to know about Winds of Change and what happens, which takes place 10 years after all of this,
I will get to hear about Kalaith.
and Sandir
Griff.
and
Sandir.
Griff.
You're gonna hear all about Kalaith.
Yeah. And Gist the Pixie. And
Oh,
so
Gist.
there's-
Just who would get along with Tippin, but we'll never meet.
Anyway, so here we are, guys.
You meet in spirit.
And so if you guys want to get caught up with what we're doing with Winds of Change right now, you can go to YouTube and find all the streams that we've put up. Or Allie can put in the chat, she can put in what our podcast is. We're on iTunes and also on Simplecast as well. She's nodding her head. I'm going to take that as a guess. So we've introduced our players.
You can actually download the Warda podcast through many of your favorite podcast applications on mobile and on your browser. It's on Simplecast on the website, but it's also, I just put a link in the chat if you want to download it from iTunes, or just search for Warda in your favorite podcast app.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Allie. Allie does a bunch of. This would not happen if Allie was not a part of all this. It wouldn't. It absolutely would not happen. I would be alone in a basement someplace.
Someone earned his spot back
Yeah.
in his bed.
I think
Yeah.
that's where you were when we started dating?
In a basement someplace?
Running games, yeah, with no one listening, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where
I
you
was
started?
running games with nobody. Like, what's the point of that now?
There's no point. We must
No point.
share
So,
it with everyone.
Chains.
And
point of only
since
the
we're all done
players
with that,
hearing
let's
it.
do one of our favorite segments, Getting to Know You. Getting to
Know you,
getting to know all about you. Since we're doing a new arc this time, I'd like everyone to give me like we did in the very first one, a like and a dislike for your character. And then, very briefly, tell me what you've done in the last span since the last game ended.
Starting with me, I'm
Oh,
assuming.
yes, that's right.
Always.
I'll start with you. You're right across the table from me.
I am, so I'm just like
that's-
right there with you.
Now I'm like,
Okay.
and it's you.
Your
There we
first eye contact. All right, so another like and a dislike of Embrilar. Another like. He has a much more. I'm trying to find the right word. A much more, not genuine, a better appreciation. There we go. A better appreciation for his friends and the people that he knows. I mean, he always appreciated them, but his main goal was the job, was the force, was making sure that he was bringing pride to half-genes everywhere and sticking it to his mom, who he hates. Phrasing, because I saw someone put that in the chat earlier. So yeah, the appreciation of friends, Tippin, Owin, Sandir, everyone, because like after seeing all these people recently die, which hasn't happened very much over his tenure as a warden, really had him really appreciate his friends a bit more. Dislike. I'm gonna say he dislikes combat a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Like he would still do it, but now he's not as eager to get into it because now that he's gone up against Scarthroat, he's really seen like he sparred with Sandir, he sparred and he knows how to fight, but going up against someone at that level really like not really shook him to his core, but it really like almost like it jarred him, it slapped him in the face like at how inexperienced you are. So
this isn't just cool stuff you can do now.
So
like, people can die.
I'm thinking at this point it's a mild form of PTSD is that he's kind of dealing with that kind of like combat after everything that he went through.
Cool. Well, I mean that's not cool, but
yeah.
You know. And tell us what you've done in the last span, just very briefly. Very briefly.
Just hung out with Fenelle in the hospital, made sure she got better. We were both on leave, so I didn't have to work. Kind of just hung out with her after she was released, and her wounds were all healed. Just basically just me and her just enjoyed spending our time together and enjoying being alive.
Sweet. So you would know that she has left for the country.
Yes.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 days into that, she took off. She was released from the hospital, and then she went to the 10th ward with her family.
Yeah.
Out there. Frank, give us a like and a dislike.
Tippin likes snow. Specifically, he likes snow. To be more specific, like first snow, snowfalls and everything. He likes that. He hasn't seen much because he hasn't existed for very long, but he saw like snow that was created for a party, basically, and like loved it. To the point like he made snowballs. He was like, "This is water, but frozen and doesn't get your wings drenched." What? So he likes snow. He dislikes.
Wow.
Suspense. You know what? He dislikes peppermint.
Oh, okay. I dig it.
It's the only thing that he's tasted that he hasn't liked.
Good to know.
He's tasted a lot of things.
Good to know. Go ahead, Alexis.
Ominous peppermint.
All right. Alva likes doing her job right and making people feel good, because if you fit a hat correctly on someone, then they feel better about how they look, they feel better about how they are, because hats tend to, when you fit them correctly, express who the person is deep down. So that makes her feel good, that she can help people be their best selves and bring out the best in themselves and feel good about themselves. She dislikes House Fleet, the Johnny High House. She used to be a chambermaid for House Fleet. She does not like them at all. In fact, I'd go so far as to say she hates them.
Good to know.
Yep. And what she did this week, aside from going to work, she would have taken a little time off work to go visit Esmeralda Page in prison.
That's right, because you know Ezzy. You know Ezzy from when she was a little girl.
Yes, Alva and Ezzy actually went to the same primary school in the same slum. So that was a thing, and they've been acquaintances for many years, and she was always expecting something terrible to happen to Ezzy, but this is not quite what she expected. Something's fishy about this.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Iggly, tell us a like and a dislike.
Let's see. Iggly really likes jigsaw puzzles.
Oh, interesting.
The entire, from beginning to end, dividing all the pieces out till the last piece is set. He loves jigsaw puzzles. He hates crude and boorish and bestial behavior, acting improperly.
Interesting.
And what he has been doing is he has been wandering around town. It's new season is coming, so he's gone to some of his more lucrative investments to see how are they doing, make sure if they need anything, or if
do the rounds.
Yeah, doing the rounds to collect on some of the payments that he is owed. And then he overhears some news that had missed him for the past few days, that somebody had apparently tangled with this Scarthroat guy. And that's interesting.
Interesting. Very good. Tippin, did you say what you did for the week?
Oh, no, I didn't.
It's a long time for you.
It is a long time.
It's 11
Tippin did a
days.
lot of stuff.
It's 11 days for you.
So Tippin did a lot of things. He flew a lot. What? He went with, Emmy, what's your brother's name again?
Oh, Casper.
Casper. He went with Casper and studied Mechanica because he realized that he doesn't know like anything about Mechanica, so he studied a ton of it to like compensate. He also spent a lot of time roaming the city, kind of just talking to people that would be willing to talk to him.
Interesting.
Just like he wanted to expand his friend base.
Very, very interesting. I don't think your character doesn't look very different from this point. Like it's been a span.
I guess maybe his hair's longer again,
Maybe a little bit,
but like that's not saying much because he just
One of the cool things that Frank did is he calculated how long a pixie day is.
All the math is right here,
and it's actually about 15 minutes. Is one day for a pixie. So that's kind of what's going. Yeah, go for it.
I actually thought of a better dislike that better fits.
Sure.
He dislikes, Embrilar dislikes the ceiling.
Oh.
Their higher I feel like the PTSD wasn't strong enough, and I was like,
gods?
yeah. I was like, that was just more like a character thing that he's been dealing with. But he dislikes the ceiling. Like all of their inner machinations cost so many innocent people's lives.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So that's getting to know you guys. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. I love doing this. Okay, so let's get our thank yous out of the ways. Thank you, Allie, for being on the ones and twos. And we got to thank the One Shot Network. And let's thank the One Shot Network for everything they've done for us. Without them, again, we'd just be a bunch of nerds in a basement. So,
Hey, on that note, really quick.
Sure, go for it.
There is still time to back the Dungeon Dome if you haven't yet. The Kickstarter is still live until August 10th.
Yeah, and if we get 20,000, if we reach 20,000, we get a better Dungeon Dome.
Yeah, if we reach 21,000, I think he's going to get an actual championship wrestling belt
Yeah.
for the Dome.
Yeah. What? Pretty awesome.
The other thing I was going to say is I, Allie, will be attending Gen Con. So if anybody is planning on going to Gen Con this month, I will be there. Let's hang out.
Awesome. And the last bit of business, guys, we can't do this without you. Thank you so much for being here tonight, for making Warda not just like, again, a thing that a bunch of nerds are doing in a basement, but something that we're bringing to you. And we love it, and we want you guys to love it as much. That's why we try really hard to have a really good story and really good characters, and we're going to do the best we can. So feel free to share this with your friends. If you feel you have friends that are going to like Warda, let them know about it. Costs you nothing. And it means the world and everything to us. So with all that, you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I was born ready.
Okay. I want you to picture it. It's nighttime in a deep wood. There are no lights. And you can hear the sounds of crickets and birds in like that the owls and stuff in the darkness. There's a heavy moon hanging in the sky. And the camera is panning over this deserted dirt road. And we see nothing in this deserted dirt road. And then there's the strike of a match. And we see a Silvani man sitting in the crook of a tree. And he holds up a cigar made of bark. So it's not like tobacco, it's literal like cedar wood. And he lights the cedar wood on fire and breathes it in and lets out that smoke of it. And he's just sitting there waiting. And he sits there and waits and waits and waits. And as he's waiting, there's a rumble. And over the hill comes a truck, painted completely black. And it's going really fast, and he immediately looks up, and the truck screeches to a halt. And inside, there's the driver, who is a Johnny man, and there is a Silvani girl who looks very much like the Silvani man. And she goes, get in! And he reaches up and jumps into the truck, and he goes, did it go all right? Did it go all right? And the moment he says that, she goes, we had a bit of trouble. And the side mirror gets blasted off by a bit of magic, and immediately we look into the other rearview mirror, and there are horses coming over the hill with people in armor riding on it down with strikes, like firing spells at these guys. And so they're going, and it's this tense chase through the woods as these two Silvani and this Johnny are going. And the horses are catching up on them. They're going faster and faster and faster. And the Silvani man pulls out a strike and reaches around and starts firing backwards at the guys on horseback as they go. And he turns back to the girl and says, we're not gonna make it. We need to lose some weight. And they both look at the Johnny, and the next thing you see the truck from behind and the Johnny go out the side as they keep driving on. And the camera stays on that Johnny as he rolls into the dirt. And before he comes back up and he's holding his head and he looks up, and the horses have stopped and they've surrounded him. As they're surrounding him, he looks up at them, and they don't get off their horses. Only one of them does. And it is this tall, stately Silvani woman. She's got blossoms around her hairline, and her hair is like twigs that are pulled back into a bun type thing. And she gets down, and she's in this immaculate, beautiful armor. And he gets up, and he's like, oh, my face. And she looks up, and the moment he looks up, he gets a boot right in the face from this Silvani woman. And he doesn't even go all the way down. He goes, and she reaches down and grabs him and lifts him with one hand into the air. And she goes, where is it? And he goes, I don't have it. Why do you think I would have it? She goes, this can go one of two ways. You can either tell me where it is, or I can pull you back to the full extent of the law. And he goes, all right. And he goes, and who do you think you are to do that? And she goes, my name is Millicent Gaynor. I am the pinnacle of the Guardians. Oh. And the color drains from his face. And he immediately is like, all right, I'll tell you. And the moment he does that, we see a part of him light up. And he screams out as the light cascades out of this one spot on him, like spider webs that go around him. And he immediately, it reaches up to his eyes burn out, and gouts of blood come out of his mouth as he basically cooks to death in front of her. And she holds him the entire time. And eventually, when he's completely still, she drops him. And one of the guys gets off the horses and goes down and checks him. And he looks up at her and goes, "There's a bad soul brand. What do you think they are?" And Millicent goes, "I don't know. But does anybody want to tell me how they got one of the keys?" And everyone kind of sheepishly sits there. And she looks up and then goes, find them, and bring me the key at any costs." Fade to black. guys. Oh. And, okay.
All right.
We're going to start like we always start. High above the city of Ammingrad. It's daytime, about noon. And we see Ammingrad as we always see it. A giant horseshoe set with mountains in the back. And as you go from that border wall that makes up the horseshoe, it goes farmlands until it reaches a wall and into this giant city. And you notice the colors are different right now for Ammingrad. We've actually hit into, what autumn is it? Is it second autumn? First autumn. First of several autumns.
This is my first autumn.
And so we're heading into our first autumn. And so the trees are beginning to change and the colors are changing. And we pan down onto the city and we go into Glowwood Park, where we were last time. But we don't stop at any particular neighborhood. We immediately go straight to a train. And the train is, hold on, guys. I had it all queued up. This train is running down elevated tracks. It's a dingy train, but as we look on the side of it, it has the Violet Lotus line on the side in peeling paint. And we come up to a window, and there, sitting at the window, inside of the dining car, at a table, is Embrilar. Embrilar Ardeo. And sitting next to him, on a teacup, is Tippin. Embrilar, I'm going to give you a choice. Embrilar has two things in front of him. He has a letter that is already opened, and a letter that is not opened. Which one does he read?
Reads the one that is not opened.
Okay. That would be a letter from Fenelle.
Okay.
Embrilar, I'm sorry I have been hard to get a hold of lately. Things have been difficult, and I'm trying to gather myself together again. I do not wish for you to think I am ignoring you with the intent of hurting you. I'm just recovering and working through my own thoughts. I'm sorry that it's taking so long. I am enjoying being out in the countryside. The outer 10th ward is unexpectedly lovely and calm. I find myself very much at ease out here, as though everything that has happened is very far away. Maybe even it happened to someone else who isn't me. Then I see my thumb, and I remember. The new thumb is working out just fine, by the way. A little awkward at first, but I think I'm getting the hang of it nicely. It'll be a while before it doesn't surprise me to look at it, though. I know you must have plans on your spans off before heading back into the office. I hope you are resting and recovering as well. I would be lying if I said I didn't miss you. If you find yourself free and of a mind to visit, you are welcome at my cousin's farm out here in Sweetwater. There's an apple orchard, and they keep sheep and cows. It's fantastically simple, and the days here are restful. If not, then I'll let you know when I come back into town. I think there are some things we should talk about. With love, Fenelle.
The camera panned, like, the camera's been on Embrilar the entire time that was being read.
Tippin places one pixie hand on his shoulder.
I feel like Tippin's like sitting on his shoulder, like he's right there.
Like taps his neck. It's okay, dude. It's okay, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
And now you have the other letter as well, which has already been opened, and you already know what it says. But would you mind opening it and reading it for our audience as well?
Dear Master Ardeo, I hope this letter finds you in good health and that you are enjoying your time off. I hope you will indulge me during your time of respite to bring you a proposition. I know that we are not well acquainted, but I am in desperate need of your assistance. Recently, word has reached me of trouble in the undercity of Amminheim. You, as an inquisitive of the hand and eye, are surely acquainted with the criminal activity that happened in the undercity, and their actions are not unknown to me either. In perfect candor, most of my business is conducted via such channels, but troubling stirrings are transpiring. Many of my associates and contacts in the undercity have gone dark in recent spans, and rumors abound that some new force moves among the black networks. I, unfortunately, am unable to inquire of the validity of these rumors in person, so I must beg your assistance. Please find out what is happening in Amminheim, and if possible, find out what has happened to my associates, chiefly one Master Lipley Srudge. Please know that you will generously be compensated for your efforts. You will see enclosed the 3 gold dares I offer you as a down payment and show of good faith. If you will take the job or no, the dares are yours. You may expect an additional 5 upon the receipt of information dealing with Master Strudge, and a further 5 if you can bring me any information as to this new force that is at work in the Undercity. I am only seeking detailed information, names, locations, motives. This is of the utmost importance, and I ask for your respect and discretion in this matter. I thank you again for your cooperation and trust. If you choose to accept this post, please send your acquiescence with the provided pixie. His name is Biggs. Please do not try to contact me outside of this missive. If needed, I will find you. Sincerely yours, Mr. M.
Now here's the thing, Embrilar,
Yeah.
and I want you to choose. You could have taken this job, or you could not have taken this job. Either way, you were on this train on your way to Amminheim. So what do you think? Did you take the job or no?
I think I did.
Nice.
I think I did. I think I went to visit Fenelle, and she encouraged me to get back into the force, helping people, and don't let anything that I had happening with her is to stop that. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want me to be hurt by anything that she's gone through. She's fine. She's alive, and to get back into things. So this is the first time I read this, and I didn't want to take it, and she was like, take it. So then I did. At her encouragement,
Okay.
I acquiesced.
So she recommended that you take other jobs while she was still in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is 100% freelance then.
Yeah.
Like, this is not sanctioned by wardens or anything like that. You are technically a PI at this point.
Nice.
So you are sitting in the dining car of the Violet Lotus line. You know that it is about noon, and therefore it is lunchtime. It's mostly people who are in the dining car have their own meals, or they're eating sandwiches and warm beer that are provided by the dining car. This line is not a prosperous line. It's a little dingy. It's a little dirty.
Okay.
And from what you've seen, the people that are on this train are not sociable, is a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
The dining car is filled with people right now who are taking lunch. One of those people is a fairy who is sitting. What are you eating? What are you eating, Alva?
Probably just some meat and vegetable dish.
Made by yourself?
Yes, I would have packed it in a tiny little wicker basket and taken it out and put it on plate provided and just cut it up. Just chicken and beans, like green beans probably.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Describe to us what you look like. I'll have to have you guys describe as well, because just for people who don't know. But you first, Alva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Describe what you look like. Tell us what you see.
Alva Goldfinch is a fairy. She's about in her mid-30s or so she's getting up there in years, but she still sort of has a youthful look to her. Her hair is thick and blonde and sort of with a loose wave to it, so it's a little bit curly. She's got very big green eyes and a slim pointed face and the pointy ears that come with being a fairy. She sort of tends to look around at things like very wide-eyed and open and unassuming, like she's not really sinister or threatening. That's her default expression. And she's, if she's riding on this train, she's probably dressed in more muted colors, like a darker blue or a brown, just like a long skirt and a shirt waist with like a high neck and then a jacket over that, and a very nice fashionable hat on her head. Nothing too huge or ostentatious. It's probably got flowers or plants of a sort on it. She likes that sort of thing. And every so often, the timing seems to be intermittent, but every so often, it looks like a frost creeps over the flowers and the leaves, and they all sort of melt and wither like they've died in the cold, and then they spring up again.
Ooh, very cool. Very, very cool. You guys will notice that she is the only fairy in this train car. Everyone else are either half-genes, goblins, or humans.
Okay.
There are, yeah, I'm going to say that. But there is a particular goblin sitting in the dining car.
The other PC.
Please, tell us what you're eating for lunch and what you look like.
Iggly has already eaten.
Oh, very
He
nice.
prefers to eat early in the day. Currently, he is enjoying a sip of tea, mushroom tea, specially brewed. He looks somewhat like a Gringotts goblin cross Hercule Poirot.
Oh, interesting. I love it.
Long black trench coat, bowler hat, scarf, cane, leaning against the chair he is sitting at. Reading a book, which periodically he will whip out a quill, scratch something on it, slip it away again. Whenever he is not doing that, his other hand is occupied with a coin that he is flipping through his fingers.
Very cool. Very, very nice. How tall is Iggly? Iggly's only about,
He's an average-sized goblin, so about
about 3 feet.
3 feet,
They're a little over 3 feet.
give or take an inch.
The chat does want to know, do you have a mustache?
This is very important.
He has very long nose hairs that, in certain lights, could look very much like a mustache.
I dig it. I dig it so much. Okay, so you are all here on this train car. You're all headed to Amminheim.
We don't get to talk about what we look like?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I got wrapped up. I wanted to keep going.
I don't talk about what I look like.
Yeah, please tell us, Embrilar, what do you look like?
I have a black trench coat. I'm not wearing my warden uniform because this is not officially warden sanctioned. I'm wearing a black trench coat, a gray button-up shirt, and I have my strike condensed down into a cane.
Cool. Very nice. You got horns and...
Oh yeah, like what I look like, horns. What I look like, yes, not what I'm wearing, which is just as important.
They're both important.
Ifriti, I have already have like ashy gray skin. I have light blue eyes, and then I have slicked back gray hair, and then 2 horns that come up about to like this height, and then taper slightly upward.
Cool.
No facial hair, and most importantly, no hat.
Very nice. Tippin, what do you look like?
Tippin stands about a hand tall. He is youthful looking, I guess. He looks a little bit older now since the last time you saw him, because 11 days is quite a while, actually. He has a lot of like purplish hair that just kind of like goes everywhere because he doesn't bother to really style it. He just puts a hat on that he has made himself and fashioned himself along with the rest of his clothing. So you can tell it's kind of made like with bits and pieces of different fabrics everywhere. He wears a white lindworm feather over his shoulder that he won in battle. Or at least he says he won in battle. It was more of a game of betting game. He wears that. On his sides, he has 2 small symbols, 2 tiny symbols, because he's keeping those forever. Let's see. His skin is like greenish, but like avocado, like browning avocado greenish, I guess, is the best way to describe that. Yeah, look at the picture. That is what he looks like. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else he has or looks like. No. Oh, he's barefoot. He never wears shoes. Because why?
Why would you wear shoes?
I can fly.
Very nice. Very nice, guys. So you know that it's noon. You know that the train won't reach Amminheim until about midnight tonight. So it's you guys got a little bit of time. I'm going to have everybody roll me. All of you have heard about what was in Embrilar's letter. You've all heard about stirrings that are happening in Amminheim. Things are happening, and nobody's really sure what's going on. I would like everyone to roll in any way that you can, find out what you know about what's going on.
What is it when it's all blanks?
It's whatever.
Ditto.
What are you basing it off of?
Insight.
Insight.
Ditto.
Your insight?
Yeah.
Okay. It's whatever that is. It's
Okay.
I got a 3 investigate.
3 investigate. So the 3 investigate.
3.
3.
3 insight.
3.
With my aspect of I know something you don't know, and spending a fate point to get +2, I have an 8 on contacts.
That's exactly what I thought you would have.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
Iggly,
went all the way up
Twitchwiggler.
to make sure, just in case Iggly knew what was going on. Okay, so I'm going to see what you
always
guys know.
what's going on.
So you know what's in the letter so far. You know this train is linked some way to this group. It's a dirty train. The train runs at strange times. And its books are clean. And the Transportation Guild has found nothing on this particular train line, but it's a dirty line. You guys know that, and it's connected to them. The group has no name, but they're ruthless and they're growing in power. And the train is kind of a smuggling thing for them. Like there's obviously going to be something on this train worth smuggling. They deal in illicit enterprises like illegal gambling, illegal spells, illegal substances, illegal sentiments, illegal soul stones, illegal soul brands, but they specialize in smuggling goods from outside the city. And that's what you guys know. Alva, you would know this group is your best shot yet of knowing what happened to that loved one.
Good to know.
Iggly. I'm just going to give this to you, and you can read it.
Thank you.
And find out everything else about it. So Iggly's going over his notes, and while Iggly goes over his notes about what's going on,
That's what I'm working on in the book. Is all right. I know this. I know this. I know that.
We don't know the name of this group. Like there's
there's
no
been
notoriety
name.
yet.
No name has been given to you guys. But this train is your starting point, basically, is what you guys have gotten. Like this is if there's anything that's going to lead you to this group, it's got to be on this train.
And this train is taking us to Amminheim?
Amminheim. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to end at a place called From Station, in a neighborhood called The Squeeze.
Okay.
So, what do you guys do?
It's going to start listening around.
Okay.
See what he can pick up. I'm gonna use the art of nondescript listening.
Okay.
So
Tell
no
me
one
where you want to
notices.
listen. Where do you want to listen?
Where do I wanna listen?
In this car? In this?
I think I want to go to a different car with seedier looking people.
Okay.
Question about the layout of the car.
Sure.
Is this like we have individual like cabins,
No.
or is this like kind of like a bus?
This is the dining car. So there's a bar,
Okay.
and then there's a bunch of like bolted to the ground circular tables,
Got it.
and then bolted to the ground chairs around
Gotcha. Okay.
those tables. But like I said, there's about 20 people in here, all half-genes, all humans, all goblins.
Cool.
So you're off to find a different car.
A car with like seedier looking people, I guess, is like
Okay.
his.
Okay.
Or people that like look like they've like seen things.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you don't need to roll for anything. So you don't need to roll a notice or anything to like find people. I just want to say there are 7 cars to this train. How far do you want to go back?
I'm gonna go to the back car.
To the very, very back car.
The very back car.
Okay. So while he's on his way, so Tippin just flies out of nowhere. Like
Yep.
he like pats you on the shoulder after reading and then is
Yep.
like,
Bye.
and takes off. So he's on his way off to go do that. Embrilar, what are you doing?
I'm eating this food. I'm eating the food, and Embrilar doesn't know how to cook.
So did you buy it from here?
I bought it from here. Like I grew up in the Ardeo house, and we had cooks, And then after I left, I just always ate out. I don't really know. If I do cook, it's absolute garbage.
So you got like, so.
I have a 0. I have a -3 in cooking, if that's what you want to know.
That's canon.
Yeah, that is canon. It's
Write it
-3
down.
in cooking. And so I'm eating this food, and it's just charred dire goat, and it's just in like a sloppy thing of like vegetables that are there. They're intended to taste like autumn now that autumn's around, but just tastes dying.
Yeah, it's just tastes like death.
It tastes like burnt leaves, kinda, and
Death and
there's like
sadness.
a sauce that's really tart. It doesn't go with the dish at all. So I'm just like,
I love food critic Embrilar.
Yeah.
That's,
I can't cook, but I know what flavors are there. I wasn't raised a ruffian. Mama didn't raise no fool.
Mama barely raised you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
On that subject of raised a ruffian, using the aspect once a street rat, always a street rat, I would like to look around the car. Usually in an environment such as this, if there is anyone connected to the people pulling the strings, you can spot them, especially enforcers or just watchers, like people who are just keeping tabs on who is on this train.
Nice.
So I want to see if I can watch the watchman.
roll me a notice.
Who watches the Watchmen?
Apparently me. It's two. Do these negate each other?
Yeah, those negate, so it's a -1.
Okay. So for notice, that's a 1.
A 1. A 1 is not awful. Like a mediocre would be a 0. So it's you.
Average.
It's an average. You do an average scan of the room, and you look around, and there is obviously a half-gene. We're going to say half-gene Naoti, who's posted at the back of the car, and there is a half-gene. There's a burly goblin posted at the front of the car. And they're sitting there, they're eating, but they obviously are like there to watch who goes in and out of this car.
Do I see him?
You do. You do see that there is obviously a better dressed half-gene
Almost better dressed.
Ifriti with no hat,
No hat.
not enjoying his meal.
Pack up my lunch and put it back in the wicker basket. Put it back in my handbag. And do I want to make a scene? No, not really. I
I feel like you say this all under your breath.
Do I want to make a scene? No, it doesn't matter. Put the handbag over my shoulder. Get up. Walk very, very subtly, as quietly as I can, to his table and just sit down.
Okay.
There's two.
Real quick, while you guys, this happens. She goes over and she sits down at your table. Iggly, what do you want to do while you're here in the?
Well, if she's making her move, then I suppose. Iggly will stand up and collect his things. Also move over to his table and sit down.
Very nice. You do recognize Alva, and you do recognize.
We've got our
Embrilar.
history.
Yeah. In whatever little span of time I have before he arrives, I just sit down and say, there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Warden Ardeo.
Have we met?
We have.
Pardon. It's been very busy. What was your name one more time? Sorry.
Her name is Alva, and my name is Iggly Twitchwiggler III. It is a pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Embrilar.
Smish.
Push my table out, my food away.
Mr. Twitchwiggler, it's good to see you.
It is a pleasure to see you as well. How are things going with you?
Things are well, thank you.
Excellent. I'm always glad to hear when one of my investments is doing well. As for you, Mr. Embrilar, I have a proposition for you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Mr. Twitchwiggler. I've heard a lot about you.
Likewise. I heard something about, well, what were the Penny Dreadfuls calling it? The Case of the Stone Diva, I believe it was called?
That's what they called it, yes.
Yes, you have a very large reputation brewing.
I would prefer that did not happen.
So they were right, it was you.
Yes.
Well, to get straight to business, do you know anything about this? Iggly reaches into his pocket and pulls out a burnt and broken side mirror from a truck and puts it on the table.
Looks like a burnt and broken side mirror from a truck.
You're very astute.
Thank you.
Can
Sure. What do you want to roll?
I'd prefer insight as opposed to investigate, just to figure out like
Ditto.
how this broke off.
And insight is very much a looking into people and how they look. It would be an investigate
Yeah,
to like figure this out. So
Oh, I just don't know. I know nothing.
Yeah, I got a 0.
so what did you get for yours? Was it a minus?
Oh, it was all minuses.
Oh, okay. So yeah, to you it looks like trucks are a human thing, like, and it's very much it's a thing from, it's a mirror from a thing.
It looks like a piece of debris.
And Embrilar, you know enough that it's from a truck,
Yeah.
and it's all painted black. You've never seen a truck that's all painted black before,
Yeah.
but
So that's suspicious. But as far as like, I don't see any like form of like how it was broken off, like what caused it to break
with
off.
a mediocre, the glass is cracked
Yeah.
in such a way that there was obviously an impact
Okay.
to it.
Got it.
And it was obviously a forward impact, not like someone knocked it off with a bat or something like that.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Twitchwiggler. I'm afraid I can't help you. Can you tell me where you found it? I might be able to provide more assistance.
Perhaps I could, but before I do, may I ask you, Alva, you've met this man before. Tell me, what is your measure of him? Would you say he is a good man?
He is most certainly a good man. He is also an idiot.
Alva, my sincerest apologies. I do remember you.
You do remember me.
I do. Please
Wonderful.
forgive me.
Not a problem.
Embrilar, I would like to hire you. I am not a poor man, and I have resources that could definitely help somebody in your situation. However, I want to make sure that I'm making a good purchase. May I ask you, do you trust the wardens?
I do.
And tell me, if you thought that they were doing something improper, would you want to stop them?
I would.
Excellent. I would like to hire you as a bodyguard of sorts, a secret sniffer, maybe a helpful investigative hound. I have it on good authority that you are currently operating as a private investigator.
You live up to your reputation as well, Mr. Twitchwiggler.
Well, thank you, and I do hope that you live up to yours. May I ask you what you think a reasonable price for your services may be?
At a risk of, unfortunately, disrespecting you, nothing.
Really?
Not for sale. Mr. Twitchwiggler, I mean no disrespect, but as a person of wardens, we are very aware of your presence, so to speak, and in a not so indelicate way of saying, people who tend to become part of your employment tend to regret it. However,
That was actually smart. Good for you.
However, I wish you a enjoyable ride. May I please buy you your next tea?
Yes, you may. And if you should ever change your mind and perhaps want to hear something about a Lipley Strudge, we can talk again. My door will always be open.
One moment, Mr. Twitchwiggler.
Yes.
I feel you would appreciate knowing that at the back of this cart there's a half-gene Nayati, and at the fore of this cart there is a goblin. They are both here to keep an eye on everyone.
Yes, thank you. That was quite helpful information, I'm sure.
You're most welcome.
I will leave you to your business.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to Tippin real quick. Tippin.
Hey, Tip, you're here?
No, I'm not.
I know,
with
I
you
know, I know,
guys.
I know, I know.
Although he would have loved to have been there.
Tippin. I want you to roll me a notice.
Oh, I noticed things. I see things. 5.
5. Okay. So Tippin, you notice that there are no pixie doors in this car.
Oh, okay.
And that there is no way for a pixie to get out of this car.
Oh no.
But as you look around, you spend this entire conversation that they're having looking, and you eventually find a pixie cut hole where the wall meets the ceiling.
Like pixies cut it themselves?
Like pixies cut it themselves.
Oh, I'm going there.
All right. So you find that hole, and it's like chiseled out of the wall, and it's not like something that's uncommon. You've known lots of rogue pixies that like rogue pixies live in lots of different
Best
places.
kind of pixies.
And you immediately you find it. What do you do?
I go through it.
Okay.
Immediately.
So you immediately go through, and it leads in. It's a bit of a tunnel, but it leads into the next. It leads into the wall, and the wall is maybe about. If it was you, it's about this wide.
Okay.
So
So
it's
a hallway.
It's a bit of a hallway, and there's like, it's too close for your wings, but there are rungs of like nails like stuck into the, and as you head down, you hear there are voices. There's a lot of, I'm not totally sure what we're supposed to be doing here. I mean, if we're just gonna sit on the train, then what's the point then?
Can I tell if these are pixies?
Oh yeah, they're definitely pixies.
Oh, they're okay.
As you head down the ladder, you get as you get further down, you see that there's a little light at the very bottom.
I want to stay to the edge of the light. I don't want to get noticed.
Okay. As you look down, you see that there are 3 pixies. There's and they're all dressed in like clothes that they've made themselves. They have the look of rogue pixies about them. And the one with the deep voice pixie looks out, is basically sitting there going, so I mean, do we stay? Do we go? I like the sandwiches they have here, but eventually they might find us. And there's another pixie that goes, yeah, eventually they're gonna find us. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna clean this whole place out. And when they clean it out, we're the first things that are gonna go. And the other pixie who's next to him just nods her head. And that's basically what they're saying.
So what do they all look like?
So the deep voice pixie is a big pixie. Not like a fat pixie,
But like
but he's
big
big.
pixie.
He's like a square. He's got big like beetle wings. There's a slight pixie he's got like grasshopper wings, and then the girl pixie has no wings. She's got half of like one wing. And she's got her hair like in like pigtails, like spiky pigtails. And they're all just dirty. And like sitting down, and the light that they have is like an actual, it's a marble that seems to have been enchanted with a light spell. And so it's about this big for them, and they have it like set into a thimble, and they're all sitting around like munching on like crumbs and stuff.
Hey guys, what you doing?
They all turn around. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! They've come for us! They've come for us!
I don't know who they are. Who's they?
And like the slight one, he like pulls a knife. It's this little piece
Hands on cymbals.
he pulls a nail that's been like sharpened into a knife, and he's like, "Who are you?"
I'm Tippin.
What?
I'm Tippin.
Oh,
are
he's
you?
got a name. Like they're all like, "Ooh, he's got a name."
don't you?
The spiky haired girl one, she goes,
Okay, don't you guys have names?
and they like look at you and go, "No, we ain't got names."
Can I call you by names?
They like look at each other, and they confer together very busily. and they look up, and the deep voiced one goes, "Yeah."
Okay, you're Bruno. You're Twitchy.
The other one goes, "It's true, yeah." He like opens his vest and puts like with a twitchy hand like puts the nail knife away.
And you're Maeve.
And she goes,
Cool. So who's they?
"Well, it's the ones who run the train.
Who runs the train?
All big folk. Don't know them, but you know, we're all that's left.
So why are you here though?
It's the dining car."
To eat?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like, yeah. Food's right there. We just live in the train.
Oh, you just live here.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you heard anything interesting lately?
And they like look at each other and like they confer again. And Twitchy goes, "What's it to you?"
I just want to know what's going on. I'm on a mission. He whispers, I'm on a mission.
And they go, the two, like, Bruno and Twitchy kind of like chuckle to themselves, but Maeve goes,
Oh, I'm trying to find out more about, like, people that may or may not smuggle things from, outside the city.
Twitchy goes, "Smuggle, what's that? What's smuggle?
Like how...
Is that a name?"
No, smuggle's not a name. Smuggle is an action, it's a verb.
A what?
A thing that people do.
So they like all look at each other and Bruno goes, like, eat? Something you do, right?
Yeah, like eating. Eating's a verb.
But it's called eating.
Yeah, but the word eating is also a verb. It's an action. It's a thing you do. Things that happen around you, or that you also do. Like I fly. Oh, I'm sorry.
Maeve looks at you and goes,
If Maeve is mute, can we have you verbally say what she's doing?
"Oh, I'm so sorry." Yes. So as Maeve is mute, she like screws her face up and gets very, very surly. Like her face turns like very froggish.
Has Tippin realized that Maeve is mute? I don't think Tippin's realized that she's mute. I think he just doesn't.
He hasn't noticed yet.
All right. Yeah, it's a thing you do, things that you can do, and they smuggled, which is the act. Like when you take food, you don't want people to see that you took food. Smuggling is like when you take regular things, and you don't want people to see that you've taken regular things to other places.
They all like look at each other and Bruno goes, "So like stealing?"
Yeah.
You want?
Yeah. Except you don't keep the thing; you give it to other people.
What? Twitchy goes, "Why would you do that?"
Money.
What? What's money?
Oh my goodness.
Tippin, real quick.
Your cousin's living a hole in a train.
This is not uncommon.
I know.
for you with other pixies.
I know.
Particularly rogue pixies. There's a reason why you spend most of your time with big people.
So, you guys want to tell me anything you've heard that sounds interesting? That involves the big folk?
Bruno goes, well, I mean, do you want to just go see him and listen?
Yeah, where do you listen?
Well, there's nobody in this car, but there's big folk in the 2 cars back, and then there's some more in the next 2,
Okay,
and then the last one there's a bunch.
there's a bunch.
Yeah.
And there's just 2 in the next 2 cars?
No, there's bunch in the next 2 cars.
In the next 2 cars.
Yeah, it's where all the like little pixie holes that they stay in.
Oh, there's a bunch of pixies.
No. It's people. No,
People.
it's big. And like Bruno goes, "What is this one? I don't know." He's not understanding. I'm speaking English, you know. Yeah, you're speaking English. That's what I thought. And he goes, "There are big folk in the 2 cars back, lots of them. And the next 2 cars, there are big folk, but there's a lot of boxes. And then the last one, there's a lot of big folk, but not as much as the first 2 cars."
I want to go to the boxes one.
All right.
How do we get there? Just follow the train? Like
And-
the walls?
They're like kind of laugh. They're like, "We're riding a train. You try to go out there right now, you'll be out of the way."
Trying real hard to be nice. Awesome.
They're like, whatever. But Maeve comes over to you. She like walks over to you, and she's your age. And she points at you, and points at her, and basically points at the 2 of you, and she makes the sign of like, you want to walk out of the car. She makes a box, and she goes, "You," and points to her. Now. And she starts walking.
I follow.
Sweet. It's up to you guys now. Okay. They turn around and go, "Oh, hey, where are you going?" And she like flips them the bird and keeps
Like
going.
me best.
And then keeps
Don't we
going.
all?
So you guys are still in the dining car. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you here, Warden Ardeo? Is there another pixie smuggling ring you need to dismantle?
Real quick. It is 8:30.
Yeah, I took care of it.
Okay, let's continue.
Yes.
I am working on a case unrelated to pixie smuggling.
Unrelated to the wardens. You said you were private
Unrelated to the
detective.
wardens as well.
Who are you working for?
Not sure.
Not sure. Did they wear a big cloak?
I never
Did they
met them.
stand in an out? Oh. Someone just sent you a pixie, or
Someone sent me a pixie, said some things were going wrong, things were brewing, things people may die, people have gone missing, they needed help, and here I am.
a plea to your honorable intentions. That makes perfect sense. Which, by the by, honorable intentions are not so unhelpful as I and people like myself might lead you to believe. As
Yeah.
much as the urge to insult you is there. On that subject, you're still not wearing a hat.
Huh. You noticed.
I did. Everyone notices.
Yes.
We'll let it lie. Again.
Your hat looks very lovely, though.
Thank you. I made it myself.
What are you doing, Iggly, while they're talking?
I'm keeping an eye on the car while listening in.
Cool.
So can I roll a notice? Because I've seen it, like, she conveyed information about people in the house. In the car, I want to see, like, what I've noticed as well, if it matches hers or if there's
Sure.
anything extra. A 2.
A 2. So you notice, which is, what did you get for that? It was a mediocre, wasn't it? Or
yeah.
+1, +1, +2.
Yeah, it was like 3.
It was like a 3. Okay, so basically what she sees. You see that there are obviously 2 enforcers sitting on the train. You do notice that, like, they're not stopping people. People are getting up and going back. And they're going back to, like, their seats after they're done eating.
Yeah.
Which is further back. You do know that from where you are, ahead of you is the engine. It goes engine, dining car, and then I think it's your... Hold on. Alva, you have a seat on the 3rd car. And Iggly, you have your own compartment on the 3rd car. And then Embrilar, you have a seat on the 4th car.
Okay. Do they work for the train?
They have no livery. They have like no identification that they work for the train.
Okay.
But they're very much like posted there.
Okay.
And they don't move.
All right.
Listen to me. I am not a frequent visitor of Amminheim.
This will be my first visit.
Oh, good. That's what I expected. As I said, you are a valuable individual. You have skills, you have ideals, which do come in handy. Also, sometimes are completely useless, but they can come in handy. Here's the trouble. Both of us are going to be out of our element here. For whatever our motives are, we're going to be out of our element.
If you don't mind my asking, what are your motives here? I told you mine. What brings you to the city of Amminheim?
Something's happening here. It's been in the undercurrent of conversation that things are afoot here, and I'm given to understand that there's a gang presence here that may have shifted from a different gang.
And why would a non-warden fairy be interested in this gang?
Tying up loose strings. I took care of some business a long time ago, but I didn't really take care of all of it. I wasn't in a very healthy position to do so.
Okay.
I satisfied myself to the bare bones of the situation, but information has come to light suggesting that I might finally be able to wipe the slate completely clean.
Which I can respect.
Thank you.
Are you guys trying to be quiet?
Yeah, a little. Like
A little bit,
I'm
but I'm not
leaning.
whispering.
I'm leaning towards him, like over the
So
table.
you guys are having a private conversation.
Yes, like we're not yelling, but we're not being very, like, obviously, like, shush, 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 shush.
I just will remind you that there's a lot of people in this.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is that Mr. Twitchwiggler is from Amminheim, and I would strongly recommend affiliating yourself with him, not in a way that binds you to him to inconvenience you, but he's the one who asked you for payment. You didn't come to him as a supplicant. That is a very, very fortunate thing. Take advantage of that.
I've seen what happens to people who associate with Mr. Twitchwiggler. While his intentions may be very less than honorable, and he probably very much so intends to pay me. I don't doubt that. However, I would rather not be in debt to him. He may pay me, but we all know that Mr. Twitchwiggler prefers other forms of payment.
I completely understand, Warden Ardeo. Please take this then into consideration. Something that many, many of the people who owe Mr. Twitchwiggler have in common. They're still alive. Anyway, if you're not going to be his bodyguard, I'd appreciate it. A hat pin can only do so much.
Why not?
Fantastic. I unpack my food.
Nice. So what are you guys gonna do for the next little bit? Like here in the car.
I'm going to, eat and keep an eye out.
Okay.
Do you mind if I have like a bite of that? This is just god awful.
I give you half the chicken
you.
breast and some of the green beans.
Why don't you guys both roll both roll me notices real quick.
Getting real tired of this.
Ditto.
You know what?
That's a 0.
This is
You
for
reroll?
Yep.
All right, go for it.
One better than it was. These negate each other, so -1, so 1.
Okay, that's fine.
0.
0. Okay. Iggly, what are you doing? Now they've finished up the
If they
conversation.
finish the conversation, I am going to refocus my attention to the car, see if I overhear anybody mention scrapewood, or see if these two
So roll me to
guards
see if you can.
they move. 0.
0?
0.
All right. I'm gonna say that you do at least see this.
Okay.
You don't hear what he says, but the half-G Nayati, like he's sitting there, and you guys are further away, and you do notice that he's like had his eye basically trained on your table for a little while. Are you still at the table, or have you walked away?
Oh no, I've left them to themselves.
Okay. So you've watched him watching
Hearing
them.
range, but
So as he's sitting there, like watching them, he like leans over and like snaps very quietly. And there's a goblin who's like sitting at another table. He like puts down the news. So he has the newspaper and like puts it down, and then walks over, and they have a very whispered conference with each other. And the goblin like tips his bowler hat and then walks back.
all right. Yeah. Okay. Iggly gets up and returns to the table.
Very nice. While that's happening, let's jump to you, Tippin, real quick. So you and Maeve are, she's led you down further, and she comes to like a makeshift little like door it's basically just wood put up over a hole. And she reaches over, she grabs it, she opens it, and you were immediately blasted by like wind as it goes to the outside, and the clack, 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 clack is super loud. And she walks over, she reaches off of like, she has like a side satchel. She reaches and pulls out rope, like little twine, she like ties herself, and then she goes over and gets like a carabiner and like notches it onto this wire that's running across to the next car. And there's a chain that runs that way with a wire that runs. And she like she's like walking. And she like looks back at you and goes and like beckons you to come with her.
Tippin has never been so attracted to a pixie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, making him
She
specs.
like looks out and she like points to you and points to your middle and like
Yeah, I will try to imitate what she did.
she points to the wall, and you see on the wall there's a couple of like ropes with carabiner, like small little carabiner like hooks, basically.
Yeah, I'll grab that and kind of do the same thing that she did.
Cool. So you guys are like walking down that
I'll
way.
do my best to like fold down my wings so they don't catch too much air to make
Cool.
this hard.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Darn. So
Side.
so you guys are heading down. I want you both to roll a luck.
Positive. Good.
Positive, good. And she just got neutral luck. So you guys are fine. You guys walk across it pretty simply. Like she slips once, but you notice that when she slips, she just shifts her weight to the side and then just continues to walk until she comes back.
So with my good luck, can I like impress her?
Oh, you want to impress her. How do you want to impress her?
I just want to be like really good at this for the first time I've ever done it. Like I don't know, I find my center of gravity and I'm able to like pull ahead, keep pace.
Do you have a physical? Do you have a?
Yeah, I have athletics.
Roll me in athletics.
Oh yeah, nice athletics. I got a 3.
Okay.
And good luck.
And
So
good luck.
tell me how you physically impress her.
I really just think it's gonna be like he's very nimble about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like he like jumps and does like climbs around, goes one-handed with the rope to like point out that he's doing well, but like to like check in with her and be like, this is good, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
And she like looks back and she goes, she thumbs ups to you. She thumbs up to you and goes, yeah.
Cool. He's Tippin's real happy.
And she leads you to the other side. And she opens a door. She like takes off the rope and hangs it on the wall. But she like takes the hook with her and puts it in her little satchel. have you ever seen The Secret World of Arrietty? It's a Miyazaki film. Has anybody?
I was just gonna say this is exactly what Ariete is like.
Yeah, Maeve is completely The Secret World of Arrietty. Anyway, and she leads you up like rungs again.
Awesome.
And she leads you up rungs, and eventually you get to a point where you get to a vent, and you can look out and see that there is a hallway. You are now in the car behind
Oh, that's cool.
the dining car, and this car is it's a corridor car, which means it's like the Hogwarts Express, where there's just one lane and a bunch of booths where people sit in. That's what this section is.
Cool.
And you see a goblin like walk past you as you like look out, and she's looking out around, and then she like looks at you, and then points for you to go.
I go.
And there's a little like she like pulls a string, and this thing rolls up, and it leads out into like the threadbare red carpet that is this corridor car. And so you go, and now you guys are both in the corridor.
Cool.
We're gonna jump to you guys now. You guys are finishing up lunch.
And then I sit down. Well, Mr. Embrilar, you drive a very hard bargain. Lean in, drop my voice a little. Listen. I have considerable resources and information, and I'm afraid I have just reached the end of them in this current endeavor. If you help me, I will owe you a favor.
Shit. Oh my gosh. Pause. We're gonna do a word of wisdom here. Real quick. Dude. So I want you to know, in the year that we played with Iggly Twitchwiggler, I saw him do this once.
It was big.
It was big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Iggly owns this town. Not maybe not Ammingrad, but Amminheim. Iggly owns Amminheim.
Okay.
Not out in the open. He's not
Yeah.
king of the streets or something like that.
Yeah.
But like you know, you are Iggly. Like, it's a big. I just want you to know how big of a thing it is that he's saying this.
Okay.
Back in.
All right.
Alva's starting to visibly freak out. Like, Mr. Twitchwiggler, are we in danger?
I'll answer you this way. You help, because I'm calling yours in.
Very well.
He whips out a pen. Give me your arm.
So you have the contract that he has written out for you in a soul brand on your arm.
Very well.
And he can,
Okay.
and Iggly has the power to do soul brands. He's very good at them.
Yeah. She unbuttons her sleeve, pushes back the jacket and the shirt, and there's a soul brand.
Now you've only seen soul brands that are used by like guardians,
Yes.
and usually not in a written form, in like a geometric shape form.
Yeah.
Igglies are elegant calligraphy, like written in contract. But
Yeah.
this is soul brands you have not seen before.
Yeah.
It's not illegal.
Yeah.
It's not an illegal soul brand, but it is not a like guild sanctioned soul brand.
Yeah.
But as a goblin, he has the right to do that.
Yeah.
Word of wisdom done. Continue.
So yeah, just draw a line through the contract.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he draws a line through your contract, and you feel the burn of it. But as the pen goes across, the ink sucks itself back into the pen, and the tattoo is gone.
All right. What do we do?
Well, first, I don't operate without a contract. Are we agreed?
What's the contract?
You help me solve my problem. I owe you one favor.
What's your problem?
Have you heard in your time in this train. Have you heard the word scrape wood?
Roll, go for
What
it.
would this be? A notice?
Actually,
Investigate?
no, I want you to roll and investigate.
Okay.
May I roll as well?
No, just him.
That's a 2.
Okay, scrapewood. You haven't heard it on this train.
But I do know the word.
You know the word. You know the name. They were. You have records of them.
Okay.
They have a rap, basically. They have a record.
They're a gang.
No,
No.
it's a pair of twins, a pair of Sylvani twins.
Okay.
That at one point dealt in soul stones.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Connor.
Right there it is. I'll wait for it to kick in. Oh, no way.
Which he honestly, like, the moment you say scrapewood,
you
this
start
is what
laughing?
he
Okay.
does.
Oh,
And the whole car kind of turns around and looks at you guys.
oh.
Warden Ardeo, you're very visible right now.
Sorry, forgive me.
Take that as a yes.
Yep. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, would you mind telling me who or what scrape wood is?
They are
I do like to laugh.
They are a pair of Sylvani twins I had a run-in with a while back. That dealt
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so.
that dealt in soul stones.
Okay, I got a word of wisdom for you guys with soul stones.
Thank
So
you.
soul stones are a new thing. Soul stones in the world, a fae can, at the end of their life or at any point in their life, they can take their soul and place it into a stone. It usually happens at the end of somebody's life, and it usually only happens to extend their life for a little bit. Let's say someone is working on a project and they're near death and they want to complete it or they want to see it done. And it's a very strict contract written out. It's for a certain amount of time, and then they are released from that soul stone. Let me see.
Yeah.
Can we have a close-up cam on that for the chat, or no?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But they're very rare, and they don't usually happen, and they're always sanctioned. But there is a trade in illegal soul stones, and that's usually someone has had their soul sucked from them into a soul stone, or they're using soul stones and putting souls into machines or elements or things like that.
Clarification, if it's used to keep the person alive a little longer, then when your soul is in a stone, you're still like walking around.
No. It's just your
Not a factory.
consciousness. It's just your consciousness and your memories and your soul.
And someone else can utilize what's
your
within the stone to, say, finish
If
a
you
project legally or
Yeah.
do whatever illegally.
Imagine donating your body to science. Like libraries would take people if they want to donate their consciousness to like the Hall of Records or something like that. You can do that. However, that is a huge.
Yeah, but
Do they have a time? Are they finite? Do they eventually break down? Or
they don't. Eventually, they are released from it. Like basically has like a timer on it, and it's set by what the stone is, and like what the runes in the stone are made of, and stuff like that.
Can it be set to be indefinite?
It can. It can be set to be, but it's not a good life.
Yeah,
Like-
imagine being stuck in a stone constantly. You can't eat, can't sleep, can't drink.
You can't feel. You're basically just a mind.
And the
So-
people
If a soul stone has a consciousness in it, how does that consciousness communicate to other people around it?
So it communicates via mechanica. So they'll place it into a machine that will let it speak. It like speakers on it.
One
And-
beep for yes, two beeps for no?
Yeah, like either that or it will actually like be able to
Yeah.
express its will through voice in like a Stephen Hawking voice, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, for complex explanations of important things they know.
Yeah, but it's usually kept for like the great minds, and some people will say, well, yeah, I would love to have you may keep me in a soul stone for 100 years so you can take all the knowledge that I have and put it in books. That sort of thing.
Okay.
But again, they're very rare. They don't usually happen. And and like they're always sanctioned by the Arcanica Guild.
So, but you can use them for more than just like getting knowledge from people. You're implying they can be used as batteries?
They can be used as souls in artificial bodies, which is highly illegal.
Super legal.
Super illegal.
Doesn't end well.
No, it does not.
So one of the things that is also illegal in this world is to create sentience. So
Like
if
sentient.
you took a rock and you could actually give it sentience, there's magic to do that. But it's like it's just aware of itself. It's like a dog. But if you do that and then if you put a soul stone into a rock, you make a golem. That's that. That is a sentient being inside of a golem body.
Which, as a warden of the Hand and Eye, a magic cop, that's a huge thing that I have to deal with. So it doesn't happen very often, but our biggest cases, which is one that I've dealt with quite recently regarding the Scrapewood twins.
Yeah. So Connor.
Yes.
Connor Scrapewood.
Yeah. Yeah,
And his sister.
And his
yes.
sister, yes. So yeah,
I see.
relay all of that into them.
That tells me a lot. So, to bring you into what I know, I will not insult your intelligence to suggest you do not recognize that this train is being used as a smuggler's line. But it is far more problematic than I think you realize. There are several different illegal lines that run through this train, including black market magica, arcana. There is a sex trade that occurs through this train. I did not put down one that I recognized was there. May I steal this?
Go
Thank
for it.
you. I'm old. Memory's the first thing to go. Yes, and I have heard that they are finding ways to get people out of the city for an extraordinary price.
Whoa. Out of Ammingrad.
Yes.
They found a way out of the wall.
Rumors. That is all I have heard so far, but I'm afraid there's a little bit more to it than just that. Currently, through some various arm twisting, I've heard that the Scrapewoods are operatives on this train, and they are about to, let me check my watch, yes, they are about to do a drop-off involving the pixie trade, was that? I didn't look at that one.
I'll just give it to you.
Thank you.
They're about to make a drop off.
That they're about to make a
Yeah.
Yes, okay. They are about to make a drop-off, and I am positive that you would want to make sure, whatever they are smuggling, that it doesn't end up being smuggled. The reason that I feel you would be most helpful is based on my knowledge. The wardens are involved. Currently, the one name that I have heard only once, and it took quite a bit of effort to get this name, is the name Spider Willow. And the only other thing I know about her is that she has some connections to the Bonewald military. So you understand why I need all the help I can get.
I do. Do I know Spider Willow?
I'm going to say flat out no.
No.
You do not know about Spider Willow, but you do know the name Borwald Military Technical Institute.
Borwald Military Technical Institute. Okay.
It's a military academy
Okay.
in Amminheim.
Okay. I know of it. Know that exists. Spider Willow. Okay.
So now you know my cards. Will you help?
I will.
Excellent. Please sign here.
Oh my gosh.
Embrilar and Deo.
Thank you. Now. Well, I've done my bit.
Do you happen to know any information regarding where they're dropping it off? Anywhere on the car?
I have told you all I know, and believe me, that was not an easy thing for me to do. I
door
expect you
opens.
to shoulder some of this weight.
In walks a rather large half-gene Ifriti. And he walks over to the table and looks down at you guys and goes, Scrapewood would like to see you right now.
You know, I've never worked with somebody who has provided so quickly. Thank you.
You are. I do like to get results. Stand up. Let's go.
Follow me, please.
Hold up. I am a very old man. You have to wait up. Very slow.
Hold on a second. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Twitchwiggler. I didn't see you there, Mr. Twitchwiggler.
Oh, that's quite all right. I do try to keep a low profile.
I didn't realize you were on the train, sir.
Like I said, no worries, no worries. Please escort us.
Is this...
Oh, yes, yes, we're all together.
Oh, that's...
I'm sure they'll be delighted.
Please come with me. He puts his hat back on,
Yeah.
and you guys
Yep.
walk out. And you immediately walk into the next corridor car.
Yeah.
So, as you guys walk into the next corridor car, Tippin's right there.
Am I in the same car?
As they walk by, and immediately, you are out against the wall, and in walk everybody.
So now I have a question.
Sure.
I recognize her, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Tippin's interested.
You notice that Embrilar is walking with a goblin and a fairy, and another half-gene Friddy. This half-gene Friddy has, he's got blue skin,
Okay.
and deep, almost blue-black horns, but they're spiral horns that
Ooh,
go
okay.
straight up.
Okay.
And his hat fits between the horns.
Of course it does.
And it's they call them piss cutters, but in the military, it's the
Yeah.
the flat caps, anyway.
Okay.
So that's what you see, Tippin, as they walk in.
I'm following that.
Yeah.
I will look to Maeve and... be
So you guys are against the wall, and Maeve looks at you, and then looks at the big people, and she gestures, what do you want? What?
I know them. I know them. They're my friends.
She looks at you and goes, you know them?
Yeah.
How?
It's a really long story.
And she goes, thumbs up, thumbs down,
Thumbs up.
thumbs up,
Thumbs up. And thumbs up to these two. I don't know the other ones. Just those two.
So she looks at them and goes, thumbs up horns, thumbs up ears with hat,
Yeah.
thumbs up goblin,
Nose.
the nose.
Large shrug. I thumb sideways.
Did he die in game one? Did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Okay. Cool. We'll just forget that part happened.
Forget that part.
Okay. Cool.
But he was injured.
Yes. Got it. Okay. Cool. Sorry.
So sideways thumb.
Sideways, I'm like, I don't know.
She shrugs and goes, go.
Okay, I'm gonna follow them. I'll be back to find you.
She salutes. and
Did you wave like that too? Please don't.
she looks at you and goes, salutes again.
Tippin's blush is makes his skin look slightly greener.
Aw.
She looks at you and she points to you. She salutes and she points to her, and then she points to the corner, and you see that there is a light, a light fixture. And all of them are on. That one is not. And she points to her and she points to that, and she salutes and then goes back into the walls.
Cool. I will go up to Embrilar.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
It's going really well.
I know
Ah!
you.
And he will go and hug her because he remembers her.
It's
from-
the rescue pixie. I remember you.
The half Gina Free like turns around and goes, "What's going on?"
My pixie will be joining us.
Hi.
Sure, I don't care. Sure.
What's your name?
Tippin, not now.
He looks over and goes,
It was Tippin. I remember that. Remember part of that.
Fidge.
Hi, Fidge. And what's your name?
I believe that they are waiting for us.
Yeah, this way.
And I as we start to walk, I kind of like hang back a little bit, and I pull Tip in, and I'm like, and I whisper, so that would be, oh my God, Iggly. That would be Iggly Twitchwiggler. I'm sure you've heard that name with Owin. Yep. So.
Wait, I want to say
No,
hi.
no. As soon as he takes off, I grab his leg. And pull him back. I'm like, nope.
How fast are you? Are you able to
I'm
do that?
I'm pretty fast. I think
Do you have an athletics?
I do.
Roll athletics.
Should I roll a counter?
No, I'm not gonna have you roll counter athletics.
Yeah, that is a 4.
Oh, it is so close. Like,
Come on.
Like it is very fast reflex. You go, and it's you like feel his tiny foot, and then it's gone.
Yeah. Tippin.
Hi.
Tippin.
Twitchwiggler?
Twitchwiggler.
Hi. Sorry. I guess I could be called a fan of yours? You know lots of things. You know my friend Owen.
I immediately getting close, and I'm like, excuse him, Mr. Twitchwiggler. He is fascinated by procurers of knowledge. Please excuse his over exuberance.
Basically like
This
Quite
way,
alright.
please. This way.
We are on a time schedule.
We are. Please continue.
So they lead you through the entire train.
On Earth, I want to know all
Yeah.
about
Like
how
you
did
guys
it-
go through one corridor car into another corridor car, and there are people all in the different cars.
Yeah.
And you go into the cargo car. The first one you go into, there are 3, I believe. There are three big guys just sitting around, like drinking beer, shooting the shit. And then in the next freight car, there is 8 guys sitting around.
Okay.
I want you to roll me a notice, Tippin.
I got a 4.
Okay, Tippin. One of the crates is glowing, but just for you.
Oh no. Okay, I go towards that crate.
Before he does, I want to like as we're into the room. So I guess it's gonna be.
It's a car full of freight. So it's like crates and luggage and
Yeah.
stuff. And there's a narrow alleyway, and there's 8 guys that are like sitting
Yeah.
on stuff talking.
And I want to whisper into Tippin so that no one else hears it. I whisper to him, all right, Deputy Tippin, eyes and ears. Okay, remember we talked about this? Eyes and ears? Remember what we talked about? Danger, code word, Laguna fruit. Laguna fruit happening right now. Eyes and ears.
I'm sorry, I'm calling my trouble. What's this?
There you go. You take that. You take that right there. You give it to him because you
Yeah.
focused on your trouble. I love that.
I go to that box as discreetly as possible.
Roll me a stealth then.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's still a 1.
Oh. Okay, so you take off, and you don't do it subtly at all. You fly directly for that crate, and the moment you are halfway towards that crate, there's a goblin who like stands up, and you go right into his chest, and he goes, "What do you think you're doing?
Flying.
Get out, pixie!" And he like swats at you. Is this your pixie?
Yes, he is. So sorry about that. I come over, and I grab. I mean,
Like I
Tippin?
belong to.
Tippin?
We'll talk about this later.
Yes, we will. Absolutely, we will. And I pull him in, and I have like my jacket pocket, and I go, eyes and ears, Tippin! And I put him in my jacket pocket.
Okay, so they lead you through this one, and they lead you into the caboose. And the caboose is pretty big. It's about the size of the dining car.
Yeah.
And there's 10 people in here.
Yeah.
And it's a very comfortable place. Like there's like lounging chairs, and like art is on the walls, and there's everyone's just kind of sitting around talking. You walk in, and the first thing you hear is, I'm telling you, the dare is not fit to be the dare. We do not need a dare anymore. What we really need is our own government, run by the people, for the people. Let's get out of this monarch thing and just be ourselves. I feel like what's happening here is that, look, the Ifriti should govern the Ifriti. The Nayati should govern the Nayati. We should go to being a bunch of different nations. Why just be one bunch? And like, it's a discussion between a bunch of people on the side. But at the very far back, there is a horribly scarred, which we couldn't see in the cold open because it was dark. But he's scarred on one part of his face, Silvani. In the chat, tell me what tree the Scrape Woods are based on. I know I did it in that one game, but I can't remember now. So we're just gonna have the chat do it.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there smoking a cedar, like a cedar stick. He's like, it's lit on fire, and he's breathing through it. And his sister is sitting next to him, and she's talking with a couple of other people.
Yeah.
Birch, elderwood, monkey puzzle. What's a monkey puzzle tree?
Google's go.
While we're kind of paused, what pocket did you put me into? Front, side?
Oh yeah, in that coat pocket. I'm not a monster.
I like
put you
olive.
in my coat pocket, and it's like it's big enough to like fit you, and I'm not squishing you. I'm doing it for your protection because they would easily kill you.
Cool. Tippin kind of wants to crawl up to his shoulder as best he can.
Okay.
And
like,
as you're doing that, I can feel it, and I open my little thing, and I'm like, Laguna fruit,
eyes and ears.
eyes and ears.
I need eyes to be.
Are you gonna? I'm not kidding. They will kill you. They will kill you in a heartbeat.
What is the tree that you found, sweetheart? Is that
That's a monkey puzzle tree.
I like olive better.
Olive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tree.
We're gonna do an olive tree.
Olive tree.
So
need to be eyes.
it's
All right.
which means their
Will you be
skin
ears?
is
Will you behave?
like dark, almost black. Like they have black birchy skin, and he's got part of that bark is like ripped away on one side of his face. So it's just like exposed wood that's deeply gouged.
Yeah.
And he's smoking a cedar stick, and his sister is there talking, and the Fidge goes up and goes, Mr. Scrapewood, I brought him.
And I see them, and well, right before that happens, Tippin comes out and I'm like, I guess you're sitting on my shoulder right now, and I say, okay, please don't make me regret deputizing you. And then so I see that happens, and we see them.
And so Connor like turns and goes, "Oh, cag."
And we say it at the same time. Oh,
Cag. and his sister looks. What did we say name the sister? I can't remember. Mildred. Mildred looks over. He goes, Mildred, look, it's our friends from the pit.
Mildred and Connor Scrapewood.
It's been too long.
Not long enough. How are you doing?
You know, could be better. He like scrapes his face. He goes, so he's like, please, sit down. He offers chairs to everyone.
These people are these people are the reason I heard you're banned from the pit.
That would be the reason.
There's a lot of reasons for that.
You all sit down, and he like scratches his face. You can tell that it bothers him. He looks over and he goes, one of my mates here, he's sitting at the door, and he says, hey, someone said they're a warden here. And I thought to myself, that's not possible. No one would be that stupid to say you're a warden on a train like this. going to Amminheim? And I thought to myself, you'd have to be incredibly stupid to say that out loud. But it's you two. So I understand now.
You see what you're dealing with.
Me.
Who's that?
This is Tippin.
Yeah.
You remember Tippin?
I remember you had a pixie. Is it the same one?
I was the one that figured out the name of the.
And who are your
eyeballs and
friends?
everything.
Who are your friends? To which Fidge looks over and goes, Mr. Scrapewood, that's Iggly Twitchwiggler. And like the whole car goes. like the guy who's like, yeah, what we need is and everyone kind of looks around and they all kind of like sit back a little bit. And he looks at you and goes, Mr. Twitchwiggler, it is an honor, sir.
A pleasure to meet you.
And who's your other friend? I'm so sorry, my manners.
Oh, Miss Goldfinch. I'm Mr. Twitchwiggler's personal milliner.
Okay. And so I just want to hear very, very quickly what the gag you all are doing on my train. Now, you, Mr. Twitchwiggler, you may ride anytime you like. But the rest of you, what are you doing on my train?
It's a free Amminheim.
So you're just riding the rails?
Riding the rails. Figured I'd get up north. I'm not on warden business, taking a break on vacation. Figured I'd go see the sights. May I inquire what you've been up to? Wouldn't be hauling any of those soul stones, would you?
Everyone kind of laughs a little bit and goes, no. All those days are behind me. We're legitimate businessmen now.
That's so good to hear.
I'm
Good
just
to hear.
running the train.
How's business?
It's good.
Good.
Take things one place to another. Nothing simpler.
Ah, nice. Tell me, could you do me a favor? And I lean in.
Sure, Embrilar, talk.
Could you do something about that food? Boy, howdy. Is it garbage?
He looks at you, and then looks over at a goblin who's sitting. He's over there with like a tray, and he turns around and goes, Piper, he doesn't like your food. And Piper, who's a female goblin, like looks over at you, and like drops the tray, and like everyone gets very still. She drops the tray of the clatter and pulls a knife, and then like a bunch of people like have to hold her back. And she's like, "I'll get him! I'll kill him! I'll kill him!"
Woo! Put a little bit of that seasoning in the food, and you're set.
I'll season you! I'll season you! And she's like slashing the air with her knife, and they're like holding her back. They're like, Piper didn't like that.
Ah,
I'm just trying to decide if I throw you off this train right now or not.
that wouldn't be good.
Yeah,
This is a pretty high up train.
maybe
I'd probably die if I fell.
made me feel a lot better. What do you think, Mildred? Mildred's like, yeah, I think we should throw them off the train.
Ooh, I wouldn't recommend that. Throwing a distinguished guest of Mr. Twitchwiggler off a train?
Oh no, Mr. Twitchwiggler may ride anytime he likes. I'm just talking about the three of you. Oh, not you, ma'am. You're with Mr. Twitchwiggler.
Thank you. If I may interject momentarily.
Of course. And he's like, anybody? Of course.
You seem to be a forthright and intelligent businessman, as does your sister, businesswoman. Perhaps consider the business side of things instead of the personal side?
I want you to roll me do you have talk?
I have falsehood and criminal.
Not really a
Oh,
falsehood.
I do. Wait, I have talk. I do
Yeah,
have
roll
talk.
me a talk.
Okay. Finally.
There we go.
Okay. So those negate the others. So that's a +1. So that's 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? What's your name?
Miss Alva Goldfinch.
Miss Goldfinch, please. What do you mean?
You are engaged in endeavors that are important to you. This is something from your past. You have many things in the future. You do not want to jeopardize them by having the scripts read about a warden who went on vacation to see the sights of Amminheim and ended up dead along the side of a railway track.
Everyone goes, Oh, she's gonna point there. Yeah. There's like a muttering of like people like through the train car, and she goes, "All right. So maybe we don't throw you off the train.
That's very kind of you.
Maybe we just kill you on the train, and then figure out what happens to you later." And everyone goes, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah." Because here's the thing: I can't have wardens riding my train. I can't have wardens snooping around.
I have a question, or more of a proposition. What happened to your face, as you recall, was a result of things going badly. And as I also recall, we intervened at the right amount of time to save your life.
You know, we technically
Did
both of your
save
lives.
both you and your sister's lives.
It was gonna suck up your soul, sir.
So,
What are you doing, Iggly?
I'm watching the whole thing.
Okay, all
Just
right.
like,
and if I recall, as an honorable man of business such as yourself, you wouldn't kill the person who saved your life, would you? Or your sister's life, for that matter.
Roll me a talk.
That's a 0.
A 0?
Yep.
Do I have a timetable for this train?
Um,
Like when we arrive at various stations?
roll me a luck. Roll me a luck. It's just 2. Just roll 2 of them.
No.
I'm gonna say you don't have it on you, but you do know. I'm not gonna say when they stop, but you do know that this train makes 3 stops before reaching Amminheim.
How many have we made so far?
I mean, it's only been about 45 minutes.
Okay, we've made none.
You rolled a 0 for
I rolled a
that?
0, yeah. But I also have the art of verbal confrontation.
Oh, that's +2.
That's +2, so technically a 2.
That's 2. So I'll roll for him. He like rubs his forehead, rubs his temples. You got a point. How about this? I don't kill you, and you just get off the train at the next station. Bygones are bygones. I let you go. I save your life. You've saved my life. And we'll just call it even.
What is the first stop?
First stop is Dogwood Crossing in Meadowlark Ridge. It's actually near your house.
Oh, okay.
It's near the Ardeo estate.
Okay. I don't want to go home. Counteroffer. I stay in my seat the rest of the trip. You don't hear a peep from me. And I get off in Amminheim.
There's thinking about it. Like Mildred goes over and like whispers in his ear a little bit, and he goes, "How about this?
Okay?
You do that. You sit in your seat. It's fine. You'll sit back here with all of us.
All right.
And when we get off in Amminheim, we get off in Amminheim. No problems."
Sounds like a good deal. You probably have a lot to talk about.
Sure. Why not? Can I get you anything?
I'm good. Actually, a glass of water.
They all look at Piper, and Piper's like, "I'll get him water. I'll get him water. Yeah, sure." And then she like stomps off. She like looks at you the whole way as she walks out to go get you a glass of water.
3 ice cubes, please.
Like a knife like hits the wood next to you, and you're like, man. Okay. So that's the deal then.
Yep.
He like turns to you, Mr. Twitchwiggler. Are you? It's a pleasure, sir.
I will definitely be giving you high marks on my customer satisfaction card.
Thank you, sir. May I escort you back to your compartment, sir? Nothing here to see.
Actually, I was wondering if I could take this. All looks very interesting. You see, I am actually looking to expand some of my operations. I'm wondering if you might be able to carry some of my goods to and from, well, me and other places.
He like looks at you and goes, Mr. Twitchwiggler, I don't have the clearance for that, sir.
Well, you
You'll
just
have to speak
think
with
it
our,
over.
Speak with our boss.
But I would like to examine the confines, if I may.
Roll me a talk.
I do have art of the deal making.
Yep. Okay. So you can use that +2.
Question.
That's just even. So 5.
Yeah. All right. Fine. They were like, "You would like a tour, Mrs. Twitchwiggler?
That would be lovely.
Mrs. Twitchwiggler would like a tour," and everyone's like, "Yeah." Mildred's like, "I would be happy to take you around, Mr. Twitchwiggler."
Excellent.
So he's going down the line, and he's like, "Would you like a tour too?" Or?
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. And he's like, "So you can stay here."
Oh, I'm not one to break my word. Right here.
Where's Tippin?
Oh, you're
Like-
not saying that out loud. Cool.
No, sorry. out of character. Where is Tippin right now? Is he visible?
That is what I wanted to ask.
Do you want to roll stealth? See if you're
Yeah.
not visible. Because remember, you are in his pocket.
I
I
think
wanted to crawl down his back, basically. Oh, I mean, I might just re-roll that.
you got a decent amount.
Yeah, I got a decent stealth. I
What
just-
what aspect are you using to re-roll that?
Art of nondescript listening.
Okay. You're nondescriptly going to listen.
Nondescriptly going to listen to things. Yeah, that's a 5.
A 5. Yeah. They don't see you.
Perfect.
You are completely
I
hidden.
kind of want to like pay attention to this conversation as I edge towards like the floor / walls to places that people don't generally look towards. You know?
Okay, I'm gonna say that you are up high.
Cool.
You go you're like between the ceiling and the wall, that little space. You're crawling like along that.
Cool.
Like trying to move that
Pay
way.
attention to this conversation, and as it breaks down, when they get into like the tour part, I think Tippin wants to head back to the box.
Okay. So that's what you're doing. So you guys are getting a tour. They sit you down with all those philosophers, like the guys who were talking about they have anti-dare sentiments.
That's going to be very interesting for me in my current state of mind.
Yeah, because they sit down and they're like, "How's it going?"
Going well. Couldn't help but notice as we were being walked in, they were talking about didn't like the dare.
Oh, the dare. They all look at each other like, "Oh yeah, we hate him." They're like, "So this is the way we see it," and
yeah,
they like
yeah,
they start to like go on it. Like basically, the dare is a Seelie, and therefore he's never gonna die. He's king forever. I say that's tyranny.
I say I dislike how the Sealies see them as so much better than all of us.
And then everyone kind of goes, "Well, they are better than us."
Well, yeah, they can sing and destroy an entire city, but I mean, there's only like 20 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, they're like, whoa, we're not like anti-Seelie here. We just don't want the dare to be the dare anymore. We don't want to like go up against the Seelie. I mean, that's impossible. I'm gonna jump over to you guys. What are you guys doing during this tour? So they're basically just gonna show you around.
Survey the number of people here, the boxes that they have, and try and figure out the contents if they don't actually show them to us.
Okay, so they don't.
Eyes and ears open for any and all criminal smuggling possible.
So basically,
Stuff.
what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to roll a notice. This is a flat notice for the entire tour,
Okay.
just to see what you guys are gonna see.
Right.
4.
4.
Yeah, I got 3 pluses and a minus, so that's 2, and then if my notice is at 2, that's 4.
4?
Right,
What'd you
yes.
get? 2. So Alva's a bit more perceptive on what's going on here. So they go through and they're like showing you the operation, basically. they show you like this is the hidey holes. They're like they hide things here. This is where we smuggle this stuff. They're like it's a light day today. We're only shipping 3 crates today. That sort of stuff. You look at more of like the operation as it is. You look at more of what it is. So you find that there's a whole crate full of fruit. There's a crate full of animals from outside the wall. And they don't show you the animals or anything like that, but they have holes in it, and you can see that there's animals inside of it. And the last one is just a box. They're like it's a box of they're like just goods from outside this, and they don't go into anything further of that.
Something's in that box.
Do you say that out loud?
No. I whisper it to him, like if I've.
Roll me a stealth.
Yeah.
Roll me a stealth.
3 blanks and a plus, so that's 2.
Yeah, you speak to him, and they do not hear what you say.
Something's in that box.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep a note of it, and make a note of it, and keep an eye out for any more things.
But they go through the whole.
Twitchwiggler.
Oh, they can't all be A material.
They take you to the whole train basically, and they like show you they show you the engine. They do the whole thing, and they bring you back to like the. It takes like a good like hour to like see everything, and they bring you back to one of the cargo cars, and they're like, we got one last thing to show you. This is the important thing, really. This is the big thing, and they open the door and try to shove you out. Both of you. What do you guys do? And it is a moving train.
Try
you guys
to
are
stop
like over. It's elevated, so like it's a ways down.
All
But
right.
they like open it quickly.
Who's the they pushing us?
So there is it's Fidge, and it's Mildred. It's those two.
Okay.
So Fidge basically grabs you, Iggly, by like your coat,
Yeah.
and is gonna try to throw you out, and Mildred is just gonna try to shove you guys.
All
So-
right.
Oh boy.
I know what I'm gonna do for whenever you want me to try and do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's a surprise. So it's gonna be it is a contested roll at what's happening here. They're gonna try to just bull rush you guys out. You guys can roll whatever you want, or whatever you think would be advantageous for you not to do this.
They're trying to shove them off the train.
Yes.
Am I in the same room? Is this the room that I was going to?
You were going. I'm gonna say yes. This is the same room. This is the room you are. So, as this is happening, Tippin, you go into this room. You've done this entire elaborate, this whole montage of you climbing and like not being seen and going, and you eventually get to the this car, and there is that crate that's glowing, and you're so close, and then you see that this is happening.
You're a friend. I'm going to. Their backs are turned to me.
Their backs are turned. But I'm gonna say that whatever you guys are, tell me what you guys are gonna roll first before Tippin jumps in.
I don't have any physical skills, but my
Why
plan.
do it?
But my plan, yeah, my plan was to throw a hand into her hair as deep as I can.
Okay.
So she's gonna have to lose part of her scalp if she really wants to get me
What
out.
is what are you rolling? Like, what's the roll for it? Do you have a physical one at all? Or?
I don't. The nearest thing I have to physical is criminal.
Dirty fighting.
Dirty
Dirty
fighting,
fighting.
yeah,
I'm
dirty
gonna say
fighting.
yeah. That's fine.
good.
That's
Fair
great.
enough.
Good.
Thank
That's
you.
fair.
Please.
What about you, Iggly?
So he picks me up. I'm not sure. You tell me which role if this is talk or criminal or false or what. But he picks me up. I want to whip around and grab at his hand. Say, "How's your mother, Fidge?"
Oh, well done. Well done. I want you to roll a resource.
That's resources.
Yeah.
That is a +1 to my 3.
So 4. What did you
4.
get?
I got a 0. I would like to try again.
Sure.
It's still a 0.
A 0. Okay. So this gives you that resource. That levels out. So you do that, and he physically tenses the moment you do that, and
Slowly bring out the pen.
brings out the pen, and he looks at it and looks at you, and he's conflicted about it, but he goes, "She's not well, Mr. Twitchwiggler. She's not well at all."
What if I took 3 years off of her loan?
Can you make it 4?
Acceptable.
Done. And he has you out. He's basically like, he opens it up, grabs you by the coat, does one of these, and he's back this way when he says, "How's your mother?" And he's like, and pulls you back, and then sets you down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What time are we at?
There was arm motion there.
Sweet. And so for you, what was the 0?
Just 0. Just
You were very lucky. So you reach up and you grab into her hair, and it's leaves, and it's, she actually has actual olives in her hair as well. Very dark skinned. The bark that she has is very almost thorny. But you grab into it and you hang on, and she tries to pull you, and you take a huge clump of leaves out of her hair. And the two of you are struggling on the ground at this point. What do you do, Tippin?
Well, do they look like they have it handled at this point? Now that I saw,
He's got it handled. She's still fighting.
She's still fighting.
possibly poorly.
Possibly poorly. Is her life directly in danger? See, there's real
They
curious
are
about the
right
spot.
next to the door.
Okay.
They're wrestling back and forth.
And how does the door open and close?
It's a slide.
Oh, I'm not that strong. Okay. I'm strong. I'm not that strong. Tippin wants to. Which hand is holding her?
So what's happening right now is they are on the ground.
They're on the ground,
And
yes.
they're just wrestling with each other. She's got a hand. Alva's got a handful of leaves in her in her hand, and Mildred is screaming and she's trying to get a weapon of some kind, but she has no weapons on her.
I'm gonna use Giant Killer to try and zip in there, clock her on the back of the head, enough to disorient,
Sweet.
and then zip back.
Roll it.
And then she loses her memory.
We're gonna see. That cancels out. That's a 1. Oh, but I will do anything to protect a friend.
That's true.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's a +2, so that makes
You-
it 3.
you
yeah,
give me
yeah,
a-
yeah, I will do anything to protect a friend.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna say that you, so you go, she gets on top. So Alva, she basically rolls over, and you're underneath her, and she reaches and pulls a knife, out of nowhere, and there's this, and she gets clocked in the back of the head. There's this resounding thwack, and she slumps forward, completely unconscious.
And fly back.
And she just dead weight on you. You roll her over, and she's completely and you're over there with Fidge, and Fidge is
Yeah.
he's you take off a couple of years, and he's like, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Twitchwiggler. This is the only job I could get."
It's all right.
And-
Here, this is an address. When you get off at Amminheim, go here, ask for Vargas Swamp Midge. He will keep you safe
Vargas
until
Swamp
things
Midge.
calm down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you don't mind, sir, I'm gonna get off to the next stop. We're only 5 or 6 minutes away from the next stop.
Fair
Can
enough.
you gently take her with you and place her on the station?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I will.
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
He goes and scoops her up and is like, can you just tell him that you threw me out?
Oh, of course. They'll
Good.
believe that.
Good. And he puts his hat down and takes her out and heads out of the train. So.
And Alva turns to Tippin. I owe you so much cake.
Oh, I slipped away.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
not even here.
Go back to that
you don't
box.
even know what happened at this point. We're gonna jump to you in a second. So, Embrilar, you're sitting in. You've been in there for like.
I'm just saying the Sealy think like I'm not wouldn't say that I'm anti-Sealy. I'm just saying that their affairs, like some of them are good, I'm sure, but then the fact like how powerful they are, I dislike how they can just step on all of us.
This is gonna end in a brawl.
Look. What I'm saying is, even though the Dare is, I'm not saying he's a tyrant. Nobody's saying he's a tyrant.
No, I'm not saying that either. Yeah.
I mean, he got rid of the governance system. Like they had the governance system for a while, and then
They
he
did.
instituted the guild system instead. I don't think he had to do that. Look, my thing is saying, as Sealy, they could wipe us out at any time, but they don't. I'm just saying we need more representation for what we are.
You make a very good point.
Thank you. Like he looks around at everyone and was like,
What's your name again?
Tom.
Tom Embrilar.
Nice to meet you, Tom. I'm Tom. You're
You're
Embrilar.
I'm Embrilar. Nice to meet you, Tom.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
He is a he's a half-gene Nayati. In the chat, tell me what fish he is.
Us half-genes have to stick together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, but there's no representation for us.
There's none.
No, there's none.
Absolutely. Everyone looks down on us like we're
Everyone
less.
does. I mean, we're we're a bit of pixies, but like not much.
Not much.
And like, I mean, we're better than humans. I mean, that there is at least that.
A little bit of fire comes in my hand.
And like he's like twirling water like through his fingers.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, yeah, we get it.
cucumber.
Oh yeah, he's totally a sea cucumber.
Throwing up his own stomach.
Yeah.
Tom is like
He does that if he gets too excited.
He's
His
got
stomach just comes up.
bumpy dark skin.
Yeah.
And he's not like fat or anything.
Yeah.
But he's
Allie does not like that.
he's just got his whole skin is black and like bumpy and looks like he's got like thorns all over his skin and he's got like his beard is like basically like little tentacle things that hang down.
Yeah.
He looks disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
like life has not dealt this man a good
No.
hand.
He rolled poorly.
He rolled poorly in his life.
So many of us.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And but that's so is that what you're doing?
I was like, did I hear any of this commotion?
No, because of the train and everything.
Cool.
So Connor like looks over and looks at his watch, and he goes, "We're on in 3, gents." And everyone like kind of stands up. He's like, "Okay, I gotta go take care of this, but you just stay here, okay?"
I ain't going anywhere.
And
If you don't mind, what do you guys? Is the stop coming up? What are you guys doing?
yeah, we're gonna stop at Meadowlark Park. We're just gonna, and like one of them like smacks Tom in the back of the head. He's like, "Ah." We're just gonna get some air.
Cool. Let me know how the air is, Tom.
Okay. And so they head out, and he's looking at his watch, and the moment they leave, he looks over at you and goes, "Sure you want to get off here?"
Got business to take care of, Connor.
Take him. And like 5 guys jump up to like get you.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do because
Okay.
I've had this planned in my head since the very beginning. So I'm sitting down. That knife is in the wall from where she threw it to me. I knew that was there. As soon as I sit down. That knife is right there. I'm gonna grab it, and hopefully it's not Tom, but the first is it Tom? The first guy who grabs me.
No, because Tom is heading out to do something.
Okay, so this is not Tom.
No, this is 5 other guys that are like just sitting around.
I take it, I rip it out of the wall, and I stick it in the first person's, not their neck, but like in their shoulder, and I pin them into the wall.
Cool. I want you to roll me a fight.
What's that one? Fight? I don't have fight, but I do have athletics.
Roll. Just make it athletics then.
That's a 3.
A 3. Give me a second. So they're gonna roll Man. You rolled a 3 on that? Sweet. Mother of mercy.
And I still have my cane strike with me too. That's sitting down like next to the chair.
Okay, so what happens is it's a Johnny, a half-gene Johnny, and they all jump to get you, and you pull the knife and immediately grab that guy, like, you put your forearm across his face and pull him back, so now his chin, he's bent over backwards, and you stab him. Like right in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then you pull it across, basically.
Yeah.
So you basically open him from here to here.
Yeah.
You open him from shoulder down his ribs.
Yeah.
And then throw him off, and like these guys are now pulling knives and like.
And I pull the knife out, and I toss the knife into my left hand, and then my strike's right there, my strike cane, and I kick it up with my foot, catch it, and then I do like this. And actually, no, can I do this? So my strike can condense down into a cane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take it, and when I whip it out like that, the little handle would fly off. And I don't throw it, the handle hit somebody in the head with it.
Roll me another fight.
And that would be fight or athletics.
It's gonna be an athletics at this point, because again, these are weapons you're not used to using, so they're just full on throwing stuff.
Yeah, so that's a 1.
A 1? Okay, so there's that Johnny. You do that to that Johnny. There's a Nayati coming for you.
Yeah.
He's a shark Nayati, and you do that, and he catches it and throws it to the side, and.
I smile and say, "This should be fun."
He catches it, throws it to the side, and you're like, "This should be," and you get the wind knocked out of you as he kicks you. Like he full on just out of like a 1-inch punch.
Yeah.
There's a 1-inch kick basically.
Yeah.
And it's out of nowhere, and it gets you. I'm gonna say you do, because he rolled incredibly well. So you do that. The wind is knocked out of you. You feel like a rib break. It's that hard of a hit.
Yeah.
And you hit the back of the car and kind of slide down a little bit. And I'm gonna say that because he rolled all pluses.
Yeah.
They reach over and they all grab you. Basically,
Okay.
They grab the fight's done.
Okay, cool.
You're like, this should be, and you hit the back and they bring him back up. And they drag you over to Connor, and Connor's just sitting there, and he's like, I mean, I expected it, but I expected more, really. After what I saw in the pit, I expected more. But look, you just catch your breath. By now, your 2 other friends are off the train. And we're going to come up here in a little bit, and you know what? I want you to watch. I think I want you to watch. Yeah. Bring him along.
Okay.
And so they begin to bring you along. Tippin.
Box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
So Tippin, you are at the box. I'm gonna say that all that took time. So this is you. The box is glowing. It's a big crate, but it's nailed shut. How are you gonna open it?
Are there any? What's it made of? It's
Wood.
Wood.
Yeah, and you can see the light through the slats.
I can see the light through the slats. Is there any part of it that looks almost like? I'm looking for water damage, rot, anything like that. It's a wooden crate, anything
Roll luck.
weaker in it. Neutral.
Neutral luck. I'm gonna say that this is a well-made crate. There's nothing really to do that.
I'm gonna roll. What is okay? Would this be Mechanica to kind of think of the best way to take apart a crate?
I'm gonna say yeah. That's a Mechanica. Go for it.
I have that now. I studied. Take that from me. I'm real determined.
Finally have it.
It's a nothing.
A nothing. Okay. You try really hard to like open it, open it, and open it, and open it, and it's just it's the anime like you're doing this, and then it, over here and over here, over here, over here. As you like try to open this thing, and as you try to open this thing, it gets to the point where you're like, it's not gonna open.
Is there a latch? Anything? It's just nailed shut.
It's nailed shut. But the thing is, you notice a spot where the slats are a little wider. You can't get through, but you can look in and see what it is.
I look.
You look in, and there are a bunch of artifacts, like vases and statues, in what looks like hay. And there's one thing that is glowing, and it is a ring. And it's hidden amongst everything else, and nothing else is glowing, just that ring.
Can I reach it?
Roll me a luck.
Someone blowing this.
Oh, if I'm lucky.
Positive. Good luck.
Yes.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm gonna
Good.
say that you reach out, and the ring is big. The ring is like the size of like a small,
Yeah, I'm assuming it's
Yeah,
a
it's-
human-sized ring.
and you
Yeah.
can reach out, and you're trying. It's just a little too far, and you reach just a bit more, and your finger touches it, and the light shoots into you, and you are bombarded suddenly by thoughts and experiences you do not know.
Ooh.
It rushes into you very, very quickly, and it's a lot. You're gonna have to come back later to like pick through it all. But there's at least 3 seconds worth of images you don't understand and feelings you don't understand, and at the end of it, the light is no longer on the ring.
I'm gonna save that for later. Where'd I go to first? Emmy. I would go try to find Emmy.
Okay, so you look out. So you two are in this room as well, and you
Is-
hear people coming.
Is the box that I thought they were being a little suspicious about the same one that? Okay.
Yeah,
Honestly, my next move was to go to that box and try and break it
awesome.
open.
So like you just touch it, and then Alva opens the box.
That's timing.
I'm gonna grab the ring.
So
Safekeeping.
I mean, it's a big ring.
Oh, it's a big ring.
It's gonna be like a belt on you. Okay. So
I will wear it as a
you
belt.
look inside, and it's a lot of really old artifacts, like belongs in a museum type artifacts.
It belongs in a museum.
So do you.
We should get Top Nayadi to work on this.
Who?
Top
Nayadi. And scene.
But yeah, it's a lot of old artifacts. But you only have a couple of seconds because you hear people coming into this car.
It's too heavy, isn't it?
It's too heavy. I mean, if you want to grab something, you can grab something. But like,
Is there anything sharp in there?
roll me a luck.
Zero.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's like a small knife. You can grab that.
Anything obviously valuable?
Roll me a luck.
Oh, negative.
It looks like junk, but I mean, it's obviously like vases. It's like somebody went to a dig. They're artifacts.
Something I can put in my pocket. Don't even really think about it too much. Just random grab.
Do I see
Cool.
that Tippin's doing a hula hoop thing with this one item?
He's like trying to put it over his hips, like he's like trying to wiggle into it.
What are you doing? It's like belt size. This is important to me.
So like, yeah, so you're like moving through. But as you guys are sitting there, the door opens. What do you guys do? I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do something.
Ceiling.
On the ceiling.
I've been panicky, so I forgot I could do this. Can I try and use a force magic to just shut the door again?
Sure. I mean, roll me an Arcanica.
Force push, force push.
No.
What is it?
It'd be, I have Arcanica 1, so it'd just be a 0.
A 0? I mean, you do the spell, but you do the spell at the exact same time they open it, and your magic is not strong enough to do the actual physical motion of it. And so the door opens and they walk in. What did you say? So you're on the ceiling. What did you do?
I brush myself off.
And it's a bunch of just regular goons, and they look at you and they're like, "Where's Fig?"
Oh, he's off the train.
And they like look at you and they look at the two of you and they're like, "Where's Mildred?"
I believe she is also off the train. Where should you be?
Oh. Question: is this the same group of people that I'm like being held by?
This is no.
Okay,
This
different
is
group of goons.
This is the first group. Like Tom is with
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
And they like look at you. They roll me a talk.
Okay. But I. Yeah, I got nerves of steel. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not, why
counts.
not?
And I'll give that as a +2, so that's a 1. So that's a 4.
4?
4.
Oh gosh. Okay, so that's an above 2 raise on it. So they like look at you. They look at the two of you. You have that like knife,
Yeah, and like a dirty look on
and
my
you have
face.
like you have Mildred's leaves still clenched in your fist, and they're like, and they're like, you guys just. They don't talk to you. They just kind of do a wide berth and they go into the next car.
Yeah.
So that's that. But now they're bringing you.
Okay.
So that was a little while ago.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Because there's time between the next. Because you hear the next group coming.
I advise we hide, perhaps.
I agree. You were quite intelligent.
I'm putting the crate top back on.
Roll stealths. See if you can hide.
I don't have much stealth.
Including you, Tippin. I want you to.
I'm not a very good stealthy person. Glee.
Tippin will never be found. I got an 8. Can I use that excess stealth
yeah.
to like point out places for those two to hide?
Yeah, you totally
Yes.
can.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that
excellent.
you
No,
guys.
thank you.
And I got a 2, but
I got a
Come on,
0.
You gotta use your advantages. Right here.
I'm not that small. Fine.
She's a fairy.
I know, but she's smaller than like.
She's the
But yes, I'm average size, so.
Okay. So they hide and they drag.
Any Homer Simpson memes?
You guys, and he's gone. Like wind, he's gone.
A flutter of wings and then nothing.
You suddenly
Just like that.
remember one of the moments, and it's you in the woods, looking out over a village of some kind, and you're there, and you know that there's people behind you, and you are not small. You are big size. You are big size, looking out over this village, and it looks like a primitive village, in a style you've never seen before, and then it's gone. But they come in and they're dragging Embrilar.
Am I conscious?
You are conscious.
Okay. Because he wants to make me watch.
Yeah, he wants to make you watch. So they drag you down the hallway, and then they're gone into the next room.
They have Embrilar.
They have Embrilar. So the train comes to a stop at Dogwood Station. And immediately the train, like, steam comes out of the train. They start unloading stuff. People are walking back and forth. They're on a platform, basically, at this point. And so as they're out on the platform, Connor is with you.
Yeah.
Connor and like 4 other guys are, because that Johnny might not live.
Yeah.
They're bringing you along. And Tom, and they go with Tom, they're picking up a crate, and they're look at Connor, and he's like, I want to make him watch. And they all kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And so they take you out onto the platform. And they like prop you up and like put a hat on you,
Yeah.
and like so you're just like kind of sitting there, but you're like at the train, and Connor's sitting there with you, and they're wheeling out the crate, and they're met by agents of House Ardeo. And they like wheel it over to them, and they look very official. Like the guys have like put on like uniforms at this point.
Yeah.
And they like wheel it out to them, and they like go over, and like the agents go over and take it, and you see a very familiar Ifriti man walk up to them, and he like reaches out, shakes hand, big white ram horns, and he shakes hands, and he like points to the crate, and they nod their heads, and he goes and he signs, and then hands it to him, and then you hear Connor look down and say, "There's Daddy. Look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be all high and noble with his philosophies and everything, but he works with us. Probably just burns you up inside. Pretty funny, seeing as you're, you know."
Am I gagged or anything? I'm just watching.
You're restrained at this point.
But I can talk.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that they like
Shit.
keep your mouth shut. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then they wheel it out, and they wheel it away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, this is your stop.
Mm-hmm.
And they, as that's happening, what do you guys do?
I think it best that we do get off the train simply because remaining on is dangerous.
Yes, we've outlived our usefulness, I feel.
So you guys are like, as the train has stopped, you guys like get off the train, basically.
One moment. Are there any like liquids around, like alcohol left out, like
Roll me and luck.
from these people drinking while they talk about anti-dare sentiment?
Roll it again. I'm going to say that that's possible. That's a pretty good probability.
Neutral.
Neutral. I'm going to say yeah. Why not?
Throw down matchbook. Light.
And
Now we can go.
oh my gosh.
Has been a very eventful day.
So what are you doing?
So I would have followed this out because
Okay.
immediately. Do I recognize Embrilar's dad?
I don't know. I don't think
I don't
you've
know
ever.
if I've ever met him.
I don't think you've
I
met
feel
him.
like I've heard about him,
Yeah.
but would I recognize him from descriptions and books?
I'm going to say yes. There's not. I mean, you recognize Mephanis Ardeo.
Wasn't Tippin present at the gala?
I
was.
was at the gala.
Well, you
so
were
I
at the
would-
gala,
I
so
would
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what he looks like, but you've never met him formally.
And I know he's Emmy's dad.
Yeah.
And I saw this whole exchange.
You saw it. I'm going to say you saw it.
There's a 50-50 chance I do anything.
While you're sitting there waiting
Yeah,
to
cool.
figure out what you're doing, they punch you in the stomach, Embrilar, and they drop you, and they get back on the train and prepare to like head away. But as that's happening, where do you guys go? Because there's a couple of things that need to happen
Yes.
between now and the next like couple of minutes.
I assume if we're
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
I assume if we're getting off the train via the sliding door, that we're just like going straight into the bushes or whatever's surrounding
yeah, I mean,
this train station.
you're on a platform.
Okay, so we are like
You're like
the-
at Victoria Station.
So the sliding door just does go straight into a platform and not like.
Yeah, like you guys
Okay.
like get off on like the gravel and then onto the platform, and like there's people everywhere. It's like Victoria Station at this point because you guys aren't at Amminheim yet. It's a very nice station.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did Alva set something on fire?
Oh yeah, she set
Yeah,
it on fire. It's
um,
gonna take a little while to catch everything on fire.
Yeah, but which part of the train just caught on fire?
The cargo,
Okay, so the cargo.
the
okay.
cargo car.
Okay.
That's related to my trouble. They deserved it.
They deserved it.
They deserved it.
So it starts to go up, and you guys melt into the crowd or?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Possible. I mean, I don't. We saw Embrilar being dragged across the room, so it stands to reason they're also throwing him off the train.
Yeah, like you.
So yeah, look for him.
Yeah,
probably.
look for him.
Roll me notices, real quick, guys.
No.
So 2.
Yes.
2. I'm gonna say that you do. You see them punch him in the stomach. He crumples,
There he is.
and they they drop him, and Connor leans down and goes, "Keep the hat," and gets back on the train. As it
Did he give me a hat?
yeah, they put a hat on you.
Oh, that's right. Keep the hat. Ha.
So they get on the train, and the
witty
train
bastard.
begins to pull out. What do you do?
I think he would have gone to see if he could get Maeve to come with him.
Okay, we're gonna do that last.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Embrilar? Like you're basically they put you in like a dirty coat and like a floppy, stupid.
And how am I
hat.
restrained? Am I just like tied up?
You're just like you're hurt. Like
Yeah.
you maybe have a rib broken.
Yeah.
And they like
But I could like stand up.
you
if
can
I
like
need-
so you like get up. You look like a hobo.
Yeah.
Basically, like as you get up, people like give you dirty looks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. As you like stumble back and forth, like
I stand up and I reach up, just take the hat off and throw it on the ground, burn it up.
and it goes up in flames.
And I take the jacket off and I'm like, ugh. Oh, I hate trains.
And so you guys see him as the train begins to pull out of the station.
Yeah.
To head on out. So you guys go over to him, or
Yeah.
what are you doing?
You're alive.
Yeah. That hurt.
Yes, that's how you know you're alive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tippin. As the train pulls away, you guys start to see the briefest bit of smoke start to come out of that car. They're gonna be well on their way by the time that catches because you lit it, but it didn't catch everything immediately.
Yeah, I lit a small quantity of flammable liquid on a wooden floor.
Yeah, so like it's gonna take a little while, but unless somebody finds it, neutral. They might not. We'll find out. So you try to find.
I go straight to that light that you pointed out.
Okay, so you go to that light, and it's a little house. Like it's basically just like she put a bunch of bedding at the bottom of it, but she's tiered it. So there's like a ledge and a ledge and a ledge, and there's enough for her to like reach up and get on stuff. And you like get to it and look inside, and she looks up at you, and she waves, and she like points to you and points to her, and she like gives you a thumbs up and like gives you a happy face.
The train's on fire, and you should come with me.
Sad face. She looks at you and then
I
Like-
fly down and pick her up.
and roll an athletics because she like points to her wings and
I
she's
know. I fly down and try and pick her up. Okay. 2? 2.
2. I mean, I'm gonna say you're like
See? It's
like you're flapping pretty hard to get out, but she stops you, and she like makes the big square motion, and then she makes the little like slight motion, and like gives you the what about them?
I don't know. Where are they?
She doesn't know.
We have to get out of here. It's gonna be. I'll try to yell for them.
She like looks at you, and she's like, time? Do we have time?
I don't know.
And
The train's leaving.
she makes a choice. She makes a choice, and she points to you, points to her, and points out.
Okay.
And so you fly out with her, and you guys fly. It's this really cool shot where we're over your shoulders, and you're like flying like through the train, and people are like you're like weaving in and out of people, and you go through like a vent into like outside of like through like one of like the little smokestack things that goes out of it, and you go out and you rise high enough to see that there's the station. They've just like pulled away from the station, but there's more and more fire coming out of that car, and you hear people like shouting inside. And what do you fly back? Do you fly back to? I imagine you fly back to the station.
Yeah.
So we'll jump with you guys. What are you guys doing on the?
All right. So do I see the train catching fire?
I mean, you saw that there was smoke.
And is the train stopping or is it keeping?
It's keeping on going.
It's going to keep going. Okay. So I stand up So what's up with you? So what's up with you guys?
We're intact.
Good.
I
Good.
was almost thrown off a train, which is not something that I am used to.
Yeah. Where are the Fidge and what was her name? Whatever, Melindra.
Mildred.
Mildred.
Where? Yeah, Mildred and
Everyone at the
Fidge.
same time. Mildred.
Where's Fidge and Mildred? Yeah.
Fidge took her off the train.
Took off. They're here? Did you throw them off? Did they?
Fidge physically picked up Mildred and presumably took her off the train.
Like he jumped off the train with her?
Stepped.
Oh, so here.
Yes.
Yeah, immediately I'm like, all right. And I'm like, let's go find the caggers.
No. Shh. Whatever's wrong with your... I know what's wrong with your head. Whatever's wrong with your body is going to impede what your head wants to do.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just talk to him. And did they have my strike or did they throw it at me?
Oh, I mean, they dropped it with you.
What?
Okay, the perfect thing that has a cane.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a cagging minute. They said they worked for something. Who do they work for that they feel confident to throw Iggly Twitchwiggler III off a train?
And
My apologies,
I'm
Mr.
silent, and I
Twitchwiggler.
kind of just
It's all
move my eyes back and forth. I kind of just, who knows? Maybe I can go ask them. And I sort of keep walking over that way.
Might I inquire, whoever gave you this rib here, Poke, I presume you tried talking to them?
I wouldn't say tried talking, more just, poke some ideas into their head.
I must say, you are one of the more stubborn of my acquisitions.
Thank you. I keep walking.
Okay, what do you
And
guys-
I need to stop. Wait. Where's Tippin?
Oh no.
Cutscene.
so it's Tippin like zoom, like flying, and as you're doing that, you're going and you're flying very, very fast to like get back to them, and you notice that Maeve puts her arms out.
Oh!
And she like closes her eyes, and there's a big smile on her face. As you fly her,
I can fly, Tippin.
and like she like looks looks up at you. She like looks up at you and is like she does the thumbs up, and like she reaches. Oh man. Drew! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The mic.
I'm
I
sorry.
couldn't take it anymore.
Mike couldn't take it anymore. It's such a,
Too much sap.
Too much.
too much sad. She's like going, and then she reaches into her bag and takes out goggles and puts on goggles, and she's like, and you actually hear her laugh, like
No! Drew!
and you end up back with these guys. As you hear her laugh, you're immediately brought to another moment.
Okay.
And it is the briefest flash of an incredibly beautiful woman laughing. And it fills you with the most joy you've ever felt in your life.
Race.
You can't tell.
Color.
Can't tell. It's just it's a woman's laugh, and it's a brief flash of her face. Like you can't even remember exactly what her features are. But and you show up. You show up with these guys.
I brought a friend with us.
Hi, what's your name?
She looks at you. She looks at everyone else, and she like does this kind of wave thing with that, and she goes.
This is Maeve.
Maeve?
I hold out a hand.
She
if you wanna take her.
thinks for a second, looks at you, and goes.
What would you like your name to be?
Thinks about it for a second. She goes. She like wait. She puts you to wait. She wait. She goes to I'm gonna think about it, type thing. So you guys are all sitting, and we're at 10:17. So if you guys want to I'm gonna say we got about 15 more minutes.
Cool.
To wrap up what we're doing here.
All right. I want to try to find Fidge and Mildred.
Fidge and Mildred. Roll me a...
Notice?
No, it's an investigate. Roll me an
Investigate?
investigate.
Okay, hey, this is why I saved him. That is a 5.
I'm going to ask the chat what Maeve wants her real name to be. A 5?
5.
So you, even in your like broken rib state, you detected the situation. You like ask around, ask for, and you find an unconscious Mildred, and
Death Star dances. You made me feel.
Oh no!
Yep.
anyway.
Feel.
Okay, hold on.
And she can actually tell us.
And she so, and he's sitting there. He's sitting at like on a bench, and he's like propping her up, and like takes off his hat and like puts the hat on her and stuff like that. And he like gonna leave her there and turns around right into you. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Everything's fine.
Okay,
You did good, Fidge.
thank you.
Run on home to your mother.
I'm gonna run on home now.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
And
I look down at her, and I just kind of
he like looks at you and goes, "She's out." Like I tried.
What happened?
I don't know. She just slumped over. We were trying to throw these guys. I'm really sorry, by the way. It was orders. It was
understand.
orders.
Remember,
the boss does not want you anywhere near what's going on, Iggly.
This would
Mr. Twitchwiggler?
This would be Spider Willow.
Don't say that out loud. But don't say that out loud. But yeah.
Interesting.
But I'm gonna go.
That's your boss?
Spider Willow.
You're for certain.
That's what they call
Them.
them. Spider Willow.
Have you ever met them?
No, I know Connor. I know the boss.
So you don't know what they look like. It's a name, it's a title, code name?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a name or a title or a code name. I just know it's what they're calling themselves.
Okay. Thank you. And I prop myself, I sit down next to Mildred, and I kind of just go, "Wake up!"
Roll me a luck.
No.
Yeah, she does not wake up.
Okay, hey.
Okay.
Okay.
Worse.
Neutral.
Neutral. I'm gonna say that like she kind of moves, but she's not up.
Ah, so she's not dead, that's good.
I hope she remembers everything.
And I immediately hear that and go, "Tippin!" Good job. And I reach up and just hold up my hand. High five.
As you're sitting there, you hear a Embrilar?
And I turn around,
Is that you?
and I see the white horns.
You see your father.
And I go-
You see Mephanis
Yeah,
Ardeo.
I know who this is.
He walks over and he's wearing a suit. He's not in his usual robes.
Yeah.
He's wearing a suit and he goes, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing here, Dad?
"I'm picking up some mail."
I'm just taking a trip, just getting out of the city,
Good.
out of everything that happened. Needed to get a breath of fresh air.
I agree with that. That's very good.
Yeah.
I wish you had told us, but I understand.
Just saw Fenelle and just decided it was a lot, so I just didn't want to come back home right away.
Where are you going?
No plans in particular, just going out and seeing parts of the Vomograd that I haven't seen yet.
Just riding the rails, huh?
After everything that happened, just wanted to appreciate life.
Good. And who are your friends? And who are you? Mr. Twitchwiggler.
A pleasure to see you again.
It is a
sir.
pleasure, sir.
I trust this is your son.
Yes. Yes, I do claim him.
Yes. Well, we just happened to meet each other on the train and had a wonderful discussion on the way here.
Excellent. May I invite you over for dinner, sir, then?
Of course you may. I would be delighted. Just a few things to wrap up here.
Of course. I'll have a carriage. I can wait for it with you.
Excellent.
Would you like to come to dinner, Embrilar?
Is Mother home?
Yes, of course she is. Embrilar, you don't have to.
Is Casper home?
Yes, Casper and Casper and Syndra are home.
All right, why not? Why not? I would be honored. Thank you, Father.
All right then. And your other friend?
Would you care to join us for dinner?
I would love to, Warden Ardeo. Thank you so much. And to you,
Excellent.
my
I
Lord
can
Ardeo.
call the carriage around.
Thank you, Father.
Peace be to you all.
And to you.
And he turns around and walks out, and you see agents like wheeling the crate with them.
Do we see this?
Yes, you obviously do, and it's obviously one of the crates.
I look down and I see Mildred. I'm like, she's coming with us. I have some questions for her.
Can we find our own crate?
Roll me a luck.
No.
Oh, that's definitely no.
You go, what's a crate?
You look at it like, can we
don't
find our
deal
own?
with these.
No.
No. This is a train station. There are no empty crates here.
Yes.
Anything else you guys want to last minute talk about?
As a last minute, before we head off, I
Yeah.
lean over to you and just say, for the record, the people who end up in a bad way are those who have not served me well. You have. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Did she tell me her name?
So as everyone is like heading out, so like you guys lift Mildred and are beginning to like take them. What? Joe. As you guys are doing that, you're like sitting there, and she taps you. So you guys are riding on Embrilar's like shoulder. She's like got a hold of like Embrilar's like collar, and she like taps you on the shoulder, and she like takes your hand and puts it up, and she goes, J. O.
Hi, Joe.
And I think that's where we're gonna end.
Oh.
Smooching.
So there we are, guys. That is our very first episode of our next arc. Lot learned today.
Yeah.
But we'll catch you next time for Warda, where we will have dinner at the Arderos. Ardeo.
Oh, that's
Dun,
going to
dun,
be
dun.
so interesting. Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't wait to see what.
Oh, I can't wait to see Mom.
It's gonna be great. Sorry, guys. So thank you all so much for showing up tonight and for being a part of Warda. Golf claps to you, everyone. And thank you so much for making this world more real, for being a part of it, and for helping us make it something better. So we'll see you next time. In the meantime, if you want more Warda, please go to the website. Please listen. Please tell your friends about it. Share it with everyone that you know who might be interested in it. Feel free to do fan art and fan fiction and live in Warda as much as possible. And also join the Patreon. Because we're getting, how many? We're almost to 200, aren't we?
On the Patreon?
On the Patreon?
Yeah, we're coming up on $200 on the Patreon, which is fantastic, and we are super grateful for all of the new patrons that joined in the month of July. It's now August, so you have a brand new month to join the Patreon, or up your pledge, or however you'd like to continue to participate. I was saying in the chat earlier that If you join at the $10 level or higher, you can create your own character in Warda and become canon permanently.
canon in the world.
Alexis, who is sitting at the table tonight, did that with Alva, and look where she got.
Now she's on.
Look at that hat.
On this, on
But
screen.
the big milestone is when we reach $300 a month on the Patreon, we will begin releasing the audio files from Winds of Change, which was, as we said, the first game we ever played in
Iggly,
Warda.
Twitchwiggler, and Gist,
Iggly,
and Griff,
Twitchwiggler,
and
a
Calais
pixie,
Serene, and House Serene.
a pixie named Gist, who was the original pixie, played by the same actor who portrays Gretty Bushelcroft. Griff Hood, who's a human, and Calais Serene of House Serene, the hottest Nayati in town.
Very
So
true.
once we hit $300, we'll start releasing that to the patrons and then subsequently to the public. So help us get there.
Please, because guys, this is all for you. This is what we do, and we do this because we believe that imagination and worlds like this help the world. Not just our lives, not just because we're bored, but because we think it actually does some good. So let's go out and continue to do good. And we'll catch you next week on Warda at the same time. And have a great time. Have a good week.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.